the top players in the NHL, their confidence is not going to break. The guys right under that, they have a bad night. They may not want that next game.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information for the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche host the Minnesota Wild at 8 p.m. Avalanche on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 926, Wild on Internet 933. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche host the Minnesota Wild at 8 p.m. Avalanche on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 926, Wild on Internet 933. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche host the Minnesota Wild at 8 p.m. Avalanche on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 926, Wild on Internet 933. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche host the Minnesota Wild at 8 p.m. Avalanche on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 926, Wild on Internet 933. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 5th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
New York Rangers legend and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to share what it was like to play in the 1994 finals with the New York Rangers, as well as ending the 54-year drought for the franchise and how that team represented what a hockey team is all about.
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He still speaks so highly of you and of that run. So take us back to ending the 54-year drought. In Game 7, you get a power play goal. You shovel a puck underneath of Kirk McLean. Stands up as the game winner, as it turns out. So take us back to that hot, steamy night. What was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York?
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
It was supposed to be the start of the second round for the Wild and Avalanche in Denver. But instead of hockey, a game of pinball broke out.
He scores! Quinn Hughes with traffic in front. Rear shot. He scores! Polino in. Made a move to his backhand. He scores! Marcus Polino short-handed. McKinnon has an empty net. You betcha! It's 9-6 Colorado.
Sure plays a mean pinball. The opening game of the series was on tilt.
Yeah, that sucks. Just not good enough. There's things that we definitely need to clean up, and once we clean those up, then we got to flush it.
Tonight, it's game number 2, right back at Ball Arena, as the Wild look to even the series at a game apiece. The pregame continues next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Not far away, but nothing close to ordinary. Grand Casino is right here, ready to surprise you with the ultimate staycation. With big games, better rewards, beautiful hotels, and entertainment catered to you. The thrills just never let up. So make the trip and feel it for yourself. Every mile leads to more at Grand Casino.
Hey, why are you bowling wrapped in a blanket?
Oh, this? It's my Securian blanket. It's an unsubtle metaphor for the confidence I feel knowing I have smart insurance and retirement solutions from Securian Financial.
Okay, but what are you going to do about that 7-10 split?
I've got it covered.
Wrap yourself in the feeling of confidence. Learn more at Securian.com. Insurance issued by subsidiary companies. Securian Financial Services. Member FINRA.
Howdy, boys. Hey, Guzbuzz. Good morning.
Turkish stop. Rebound. Yamamoto run. Another save by Gustafsson, and he gets a whistle.
I mean, Gus is solid. He's been great all year. I'm happy for him. I think he's ready. He was pretty excited this morning. So we're excited to see him.
Damon Hunt on Philip Gustafsson getting the call for game number 2 against the Colorado Avalanche as the Wild try to pull even in the series. Kevin Fallness in the Bob Kurtz Radio Center as we get ready for game number 2 from Denver. Here are your news and notes. That's the big story from earlier today. After losing the series opener 9-6 on Sunday night, John Hines has elected to make a change in goal. And for the first time in this postseason, he's giving Philip Gustafsson the green light.
Gus is going to be in net tonight. We've had 2 very good goalies all year long. Gus has played a lot of good hockey for us. Wally's taken the brunt of the playoffs. He's played 7 straight games. Played very well. It's a quick turnaround at the end of the series to come to Colorado. And, we have confidence in both of our goalies. They're both excellent. They both played really good hockey. We believe in either one of them can win us a game. And I think it's a good opportunity to get Gus in the net. He's hungry to get in. I think he dealt with not playing for a while. Obviously, Wally played very well. Our team won and continued to go through. But we got another excellent goalie that's hungry to get back in the net.
Jesper Wallstedt made 34 saves in Game 1, but gave up 8 goals in the loss. Philip Gustafsson, meanwhile, hasn't played since April 13th when the Wild fell 6-3 to the Blues. Gustafsson, 28-15-6 on the season, but lost 2 straight to finish the regular season, and 4 of his last 6 starts overall. He's given up 25 goals in his last 6 appearances, and like I said, lost 4 of 6. Wild have their hands full in trying to slow down the speedy Colorado Avalanche. How will they get it done? To Ball Arena we go to join Joe O'Donnell with number 12.
Thanks, Kevin. Joined by Wild forward Matt Boldy prior to Game 2. The Wild trailing the best 7-1 game to nothing. Bolds, as you look back on Game 1, obviously some things to clean up defensively. What have you guys talked about as a group?
Yeah, it's all about learning, and you're not going to have your best every night. So, that wasn't our best. So we're excited to go out there and make our adjustments and see how they go.
Philip Gustafsson gets the start for your group. Obviously, you guys have played both goaltenders all year long, have great confidence in both. Does anything change for your team when it's a different netminder behind you?
No, we have so much confidence in both our guys. They're both studs. They want the net. They want to make a difference in the game. So whoever it is back there, we're pretty confident in them.
With Danila, you're off at center instead of Jules-Eric Sinek. How did you guys feel? Your line went out, played in Game 1. What are some things you'd like to maybe accomplish in Game 2 as a forward line?
Yeah, I think just hang on to the puck a little bit more, stronger on it, create plays that way, and get to the net a little bit more too.
How are you feeling about your game overall in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's been good. Just got to keep it going. It's all about the next game and kind of get better and better as you go on. So that's kind of where my mindset is, and along with the teams.
And then lastly, with Game 2 here, obviously it's a big one. What's the most important thing for your team early in this hockey game?
Yeah, just set the tone. We have a standard for how we want to play and what we expect out of ourselves, and we just go out there and execute that.
Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight against the Avs.
Thanks, Joe.
12 forward Matt Boldy. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Joe. As for the lineup report, Wild are still without Jonas Brodin and Jules Eriksson, and now we find out they're also going to be without defenseman Zach Bogosian. He'll miss tonight with a lower body injury. Danila Yurov replaces Jules Eriksson on the second line once again. Middleton stays with Spurgeon on the second pair. The third pair is now Damon Hunt with Jeff Petrie. As for the Avalanche, they're coming back with goaltender Scott Wedgwood in goal. Josh Manson will miss his second straight game. He's out for Colorado. That's a look at the news and notes into tonight. Tom Reed joins next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Rolling thunder out of the ballpark, and the Braves win it!
As the daily drama of Major League Baseball unfolds, there's a channel dedicated to the conversation.
It's the ability the Atlanta Braves have to win baseball games via the slug.
MLB Network Radio is the place for passionate, informed opinions on the stories that matter to you.
Each night there's a little different way that they're winning.
Join the daily conversation on SiriusXM Channel 89 and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
I think the way that the Dallas series went, Wally was playing really well and was fresh and was. But even during that series, we were considering putting Gus in. We didn't make the decision, but I think now is the right time for a multitude of reasons.
John Hines on the decision to make a change in goal. That's the big talking point into game number 2. Tom Reed is at Ball Arena. It's official, Tom. John Hines pulling the trigger. Philip Gustafson gets his first start of this postseason. Any surprise on your part?
No, not really, Kevin. I expected that would be the case after that debacle we saw the other night with all those goals being scored by both teams in that contest. But you have to, if you want to win the Stanley Cup, you've got to have two very sound goaltenders, and you have to get them in sometime. And I think when you look at Wally, the thing Wally was a little bit tired. There's no question. I mean, 7 games in a row is an awful lot for a player, especially when we have no time in between to really get the rest they needed. So I think it's a good move. We'll see what happens, and hopefully Gus will be ready.
Jesper Wallstedt wasn't especially sharp in game number 1, but it wasn't all him, was it? I mean, it felt like the team defense in front of him really let him down as well.
You're talking about which game, number 1?
For game number 1, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you're right. I think I don't think there's any question that the guys in front make a huge difference. Just like a goaltender can win for the guys ahead of him, the guys who are in that defense or that forward can certainly help him. Help the goaltenders win those games as well. So you really have to work this as a team, but you have to be able to read the situation also, and that's where the coaches sit down. They just throw darts at the board. They really sit down. They look at the players. They talk to the goaltenders. How do you feel? What do you think? And so on. And there's a lot that goes into making that choice.
The injury situation not pleasant for the Wild. Two of their best players, Jonas Brodin and Jules Eriksson, are going to miss their second consecutive game. Now we find out also Zach Bogosian is out with a lower body injury. Let's talk about the replacements. Danila Yurov, a mainstay in the lineup for the most part of this season, was scratched in the latter part of the Dallas series. What did you think of his first game back on Sunday against Colorado?
Yeah, I think he was fine. You look at him right now and picked up a point. There's no question that he's a guy that is certainly one of those guys for the future. I think he's going to help this hockey team. But you have to look at him right now and put him in a position where he's going to be successful. You don't want to throw a player in an area where he's going to be having negativity feeling at the end of it. So hopefully, he gets a chance once again to play here tonight and make something good happen.
Back on the blue line with Jonas Brodin out. Jake Middleton played an elevated role with Jared Spurgeon. that's usually a pretty solid pair. It felt like that was a tough night for Jake Middleton in particular.
Well, it really was. I mean, you just sense it, too, giving the puck away and being on the minus side of things for that hockey was not a fun time for him. There's no question about it. But, it's interesting when you look at the guys you talk about being out, Eriksson Ek, you look at Bogosian being out of the lineup, or Brodin. Those are three good defensive-type players that Minnesota's lacking, and that's one of the reasons why they had good success, because they had those guys majority of the years. Now, Bogosian's been battling this lower body injury for quite a while, and just to the point now that he's limping when you watch him get off the bus and walking along. He was really suffering, and even though he may want to play, I think best suited if he just sits out for a little bit.
That sets up a real interesting setup there on the blue line for the third pair then. I understand that the top four are probably going to play the bulk of the minutes, but you got the youngster Damon Hunt with a guy that's got 1,000 games of NHL experience in Jeff Petrie paired up on the third pair. What do you make of that? And what'd you think of Hunt in game number one?
I thought he was fine. Yeah, he really was. I watched him a little bit, and of course he's worked hard, and the coaching staff has told us that he's been he's done everything they want him to do to get ready for games like this, especially in those times when you have some free ice time. He's on the ice. He's doing the things he has to do. He's learning. And it takes a while, but I think he'll be fine. Of course, he's playing with Petrie right now, and Petrie certainly has the experience with 1,048 regular season games that he has played, and this is his fifth playoff situation he's been in also, so hopefully he'll be able to help the youngster.
14 goal scorers, 15 goals scored in game one, Tom. I don't think anyone expects a repeat of that anytime in this series, certainly not tonight. Feels like that pendulum is going to swing back in the other direction. What would be your prediction?
I would think of probably a 1-0 game here by the time we're done here. And this one, there's no question about both the coaches and the players, too, thinking, how can this be like it is? But Minnesota kept battling back and kept coming back until they just ran out of gas. I think they were a little bit tired. They didn't have a lot of rest between their last game against Dallas and the first game here. I think it was like 32 hours. And when I found out that we were traveling, I found out about 5 hours before we were scheduled to get on the aircraft to leave. So I had a lot of packing to do and running around trying to get some things done. But I think Minnesota needs a little bit of rest. And I look at the Avs too. They had 8 days off, so they had plenty of time to rest mentally and physically. So right now Minnesota just has to play their game. It's important. They have to win one game here. Why not win this one?
There you go. That is Tom Reed out at Ball Arena. Quick break, and then we'll get you the lineup report and the starting goaltenders as we make our way towards game 2. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
It's back-to-back for McElroy. Rory has done it again at Augusta National.
They are legends and icons.
Long pass for Barkley. Here comes Sergeant.
You can hear them right now on the SiriusXM app.
You're the fourth person in history to go back-to-back and win the Masters. Now what?
Keep going. It's all part of the journey.
It's Charles Barkley.
Hey, legend, thank you for having me.
For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio, SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
A big thing that gets talked about when we switch up goalies, but that's just the world we live in now, right? Maybe 10, 15 years ago, it's not as normal, right? There's a guy that played majority of the ice, and you ran with that, but we're with the luxury of having two great goalies, so I think it just gives Wally a little break, which he's probably never experienced a playoff series like that, and now Gus comes in, and with the experience and maturity that he has, and we're lucky to have those two guys back there.
Nick Foligno on having two great options between the pipes. Tonight, Philip Gustafson gets his first shot of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. The starting goaltenders are presented by Sherwin-Williams. Tom Reed delivers them. We already said Philip Gustafson between the pipes, Tom. Maybe even more than anything, like a mental break for Jesper Wallstedt, who saw a ton of rubber in game number 1.
Yeah, mental break, but also a physical break for him as well. Hopefully Gus is able to stay in this entire game and stay healthy and take the win out of this one also. But you look at Gus right now, he's been in the playoffs. He's played 11 games. He's gone 4-6 with a record of 2.53 goals against average and a save percentage of over 91%. So that's a real plus for Minnesota. Hopefully that will follow through in this game here this evening.
Gustafson for Minnesota. Of course, Volstad gave up 8 goals in Game 1. Their guy wasn't much better. He gave up 6, and there was some debate, at least in the media circles. Would they make the switch and bring in Blackwood? Who will the Avalanche go with tonight, Tom?
Well, they're going to go with Wedgwood. There's no question about that. They've already talked about that this morning, and he's won all 5 games he's played in, but his goals against average in that last game was not very good. He won, I think, 83.3% of the saves, 30 saves out of 36 shots, so that wasn't very good, but his team got the win, and that's the most important part of it.
All right, Tom, enjoy the circus that is game number 2. It should be a fun one.
And you are the ringmaster. Thank you.
There you go, Tom Reed at Ball Arena. The starting goaltenders, it'll be Philip Gustafson against Scott Wedgwood. The starting goaltenders presented by Sherwin-Williams. Shop the Sherwin-Williams Super Sale and get 30% off select paints and stains through May 11th. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See stores for details. The lineup report, no Jonas Brodin, no Jules Eriksson-Ek, and now Zach Bogosian out as well with a lower body injury. Josh Manson out for the Colorado Avalanche. There you go. We set the stage for game number 2, but we can only do so much. Now we give the keys to the car to Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed. They join next. Get you ready for the drop of the puck. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Rolling thunder out of the ballpark, and the Braves win it! As the daily drama of Major League Baseball unfolds, there's a channel dedicated to the conversation.
It's the ability the Atlanta Braves have to win baseball games via the slug.
MLB Network Radio is the place for passionate, informed opinions on the stories that matter to you.
Each night there's a little different way that they're winning.
Join the daily conversation on SiriusXM Channel 89 and the SiriusXM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day, and the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Everything is better on ice.
It scores through the legs. He's done.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Minnesota Wild, the National Hockey League, and the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
State of hockey and friends, and welcome to Ball Arena here in Denver, Colorado, where tonight it's game 2 of the best of 7 between the Minnesota Wild and the Colorado Avalanche. Glad to have you along. Welcome aboard, friends. Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed here with you. The Wild trail the best of 7, 1-0 after a 9-6 loss in game 1 on Sunday night. I don't think any of us saw that coming, Tom Reed, as you had a chance to kind of step back from the game now from Sunday till Tuesday. What were the positives, though, for the Wild despite the Game 1 loss?
Well, the fact they kept bouncing back here every time they were down 3-0. If you remember, Joe, right at the beginning of this hockey game, but they came back. They were very close to doing what they had to do, and they kept battling. And that's the most important thing, I think, when you get to playoff competition. You have to battle. You've got to win those little battles along the boards and on the ice. And Minnesota did that, but they just finally ran out of gas. I think they were tired, and as a result of that, the door opened a little bit more for them to give up some extra goals to the Avalanche. But the thing is, I think right now the Minnesota, they've had a chance to reflect on what's happened. I think they make a few adjustments defensively, make some good things happen, and go from there.
The Wild at one point in that hockey game had a 5-4 lead. It was short-lived, however. The game was tied at 5-5 going into the third. The Avalanche kind of took control in that third period and got a late empty netter to eventually win 9-6. Good news is just one game, and it's a best of 7. How much solace can the Wild take in that fact of, they trailed against the Stars 2-1 in the first round series. They know that every game is sort of its own entity in the postseason, and you've got to flush it. You got to move on, win or lose.
Yeah, and you do. You think about it, you learn from it, and that's what you have to do. And I think your coach said it well the other day. When you win, you're joyous, everything's happy, but then you've got to look ahead to the next one. When you lose, you put it behind you. We made some mistakes. We know how to correct them. Then you move on from there.
What did you see from the Avs in Game 1 that impressed you the most?
I think just the way they came out, they were ready to go. They're a force. They're a good skating team. They're probably the fastest team in the league. But they got some high-skilled players, and Minnesota has to be able to respond to that challenge.
So the Wild are 4-3 in the playoffs now. They gave up their most goals in a single playoff game on Sunday. 11 skaters, though, for the Wild on the score sheet. Second most ever in a playoff game in Minnesota Wild history. As for their Avs, they're 5-0 now to start the postseason. That matches 2022, when, of course, they went on to win the Stanley Cup. Opening faceoff from Denver after this. It's Game 2, the Wild and the Avalanche. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Minnesota is home to wild hockey and wild weather. Snow, hail, ice, your home takes it all. Thankfully, Andersen makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. As the #1 trusted window and door brand, Andersen products are built to handle whatever Minnesota throws at you, season after season. In a world where a lot can go wrong, trust your home to Andersen, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Wild. 2024 Andersen brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
Hey, Minnesota Wild fans, fuel up for game day with Just Bear Chicken, the official chicken of the Wild. At Just Bear Chicken, we believe the best meals start with the best ingredients. That is why all our chickens are raised with no antibiotics ever, so you can enjoy delicious and nutritious chicken with confidence. Find Just Bear Chicken in the fresh or frozen aisle at your local grocery store today. And let's go Wild.
The playoffs are a war of attrition. Every hit, every bump, every bruise matters. They add up the longer things go, which is good news, because this Minnesota Wild team isn't done yet.
Made a move to his backhand. He scored!
This team is built for a long and physical series against the Avalanche. It's time to pummel the powder, Wild fans. Get your playoff tickets now at wild.com/playoffs.
If you're replacing an appliance, you want two things: the right price and the right timing. I'm Angela Warner, and at Warner Stellian, you get both. Our appliance experts help you choose with confidence, and our team can deliver fast, install it the right way, and haul away your old one. And our exclusive savings and unbeatable values offer the best price guarantee. Save time, skip the stress, and get it done. Visit one of our 9 Minnesota showrooms or chat with the specialist and buy online at warnerstellian.com.
Welcome to the second round.
Move to his backhand. He scores! Marcus Foligno shorthanded!
The Wild in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs is presented in part by Grand Casino, where Minnesota comes to play. Visit grandcasino.com to plan your next visit. By BMO.
Let's get it, Wild fans! Let's play hockey!
Pentair. By Acrosure, your local Toyota dealers. And by the Minnesota Wild podcast. Get your daily Wild audio fix at wild.com/podcast.
He scores! Quinn Hughes with traffic in front, beat Wedgwood club side.
And now, live from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, here's Tom Reed and Joe O'Donnell.
For Game 2, the Wild and the Avs. And it's a big one for Minnesota, trying to avoid a 2-0 series deficit. Philip Gustafson gets the start in net. John Hines said it a couple of times today, once to local media, once to the broadcasters, he's hungry and ready for this opportunity. His last playoff game was Game 6 against Vegas on May the 1st of last year. He struggled down the stretch of the regular season, hence why he didn't start Game 1 in Round 1 against the Stars. But it's Gustafson and Wedgwood, the goaltending matchup, the Wild from left to right on your radio dial in the opening period, wearing their white jerseys tonight. The Avs in their dark uniforms skating from right to left in the first. Tom Reed, what does Minnesota need to do early in this game?
The start is really important, especially for the guys on the ice, but more so for the guys on the bench also, to get engaged, get ready to get on the ice, jump on there, and after 25, 30 seconds, and just make your presence felt out there right away.
I did notice the Avs had a much shorter average shift length in game number 1 than the Wild did, skater to skater. It's Minnesota on the forecheck here. Hughes gallops to a loose puck, spins out of the left wing corner. Hughes helped it up high. Zuccarello has a lane, walks in with a shot, and that caught the glass. Right wing boards Hartman. Backhands, slaps one around the net for Kirill Kaprizov. Kaprizov center. Zuccarello jabbed at it. It deflects along Arturi Lehkonen, stumbles down, and then nearly turned that puck over. He'll hook it back for Taves as both teams change. Devon Taves had 4 points in Game 1, and he scored in back-to-back Stanley Cup playoff games now. Game 4 against the Kings and Game 1 here the other night. It comes along to McCarr, swept that for Brock Nelson. It was bottled up nicely by Jake Middleton. The loose puck, Matt Boldy. Boldy's got a 5-game point streak in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Boldy trying to step out of his own zone now. Lost it to Nelson. Middleton hounds him in the corner. Loose puck over the left shoulder of Gustafsson. Urov sweeping at it, kept in by Malinsky, who turns and filters it down low. Down to Chushkin now for the Avs, worked it free. Nelson, bumped by Johansson. The Wild get it out the center. Here's Urov. Urov crisscrossing at the offensive blue line, just fluttered it in. Wedgwood jumps on top of it. Our first whistle, $1:24 in, no score in Game 2, no shots by either side either.
Yeah, Urov did a good job the other night. Also, he's played 5 games this year in the playoffs, and right now you look at him. Game 1, he picked up an assist here in this contest against this team, but he spent 5 seasons in the KHL between 2020 2025, and he's just one of those guys that's learning as he goes. The size of the ice, the speed, the physicality, and so on. So he's going to be a good player.
Urov won the 2024 KHL championship as the Wild start through center ice here with McCarron. A right wing feed, Vladimir Tarasenko, who has scored in back-to-back games. So center for Trenyon, had it sliced away. Comes back to Tarasenko, ripped to the right point for Faber. And it back along Tarasenko, goes rink wide for Hughes. Hughes trying to cut away Kadri, was knocked down. Ross Colton works ahead in a one-on-one against Faber, and a long shot by Colton hits the skates of Faber, catches the netting, and a whistle. Tom, early in this game, what will you be looking for from a goaltending perspective with Philip Gustafsson in mind?
I'm looking for him just to be challenging to the shooters coming in there. When he gets the opportunity, he's a big body out there. He knows what he has to do. He's been around for a while. He's been in playoff competition before, but he's kind of the leader of the team here right now. He's got to keep the puck out of that net.
Last year, Gustafsson had a .914 save percentage against the Vegas Golden Knights. He did not factor in as the goaltender of record in one game of that series. Remember, he left the game and Fleury wrapped things up. That was an overtime loss to the Wild in Vegas. And the Wild eventually lost that series in 6 games. In his Stanley Cup playoff career, 11 games, a 4-6 record for Gustafsson, a .917 save percentage. His last game for Minnesota came at the tail end of the regular season, a loss in St. Louis. In fact, down the stretch, as I mentioned earlier, not very good for Gustafsson. 4 or more goals allowed in each of his last 3 starts. Deep in his own zone, Jeff Petrie, the left wing pass for Marcus Foligno. Petrie follows up this play and lugs it ahead. He was healthy scratching Game 1. He'll play with Damon Hunt, Tom, and replace Zach Bogosian. And with a lot of rest and days off between Games 2 and 3, makes sense to give Bogosian a break. He's been banged up a lot of this year. McKinnon starts in a drop pass through the slot. Nate is a backhander, and he scores. Martin Natchez snuck it inside the left arm of Gustafsson. The first shot, the first goal, and 2:51 in. Natchez has the opening goal for Colorado, and it's his first of the playoffs.
Yeah, and it comes at 3 minutes and 51 seconds. 2 minutes and 51 seconds of the first period. And that's a tough one for Minnesota to drop. But Natchez comes down on that right side. He picks up the puck, that drop pass there. As he comes across also, he comes up more towards the net. But he cuts all but the pass marks and just goes to the backhand and just beats Gus on the high side there. And with that, it's in then it gives the Avs that 1-0 lead. That's an important goal for them.
Colorado 4-0 and scoring first this year. Here's a chance for the Wild. Kaprizov's in alone. He scores! Kaprizov gets it right back. A breakaway that he rifled glove side. right off the center ice draw, and it's 1-1 in game 2.
And that comes at 2:57, so just 6 seconds apart between those two goals. And boy, what a difference that makes. That's what they did in that first game also, Joe. They got behind it, but they battled and they came back. They kept catching up. But at some point, they took the lead for a very short period of time, as you mentioned earlier. And right now, I think Minnesota certainly wants to make sure.
Was he onside, though? I think he was, but it's close. The Avs are looking on their bench right now.
And they got to be careful. If they're wrong, it's going to certainly...
And we're going to drop the puck, so the goal counts. By the way, this was brought up post-game. There is debris on the ice. The Avalanche shoot off some type of cannon pregame, and the linesmen prior to Game 1 during the anthem were picking up a lot of debris in the Wild's defensive zone. Just saw a little piece of fluttering confetti or whatever it was come down from the rafters again.
And that's the worst thing. When you step on something like that, a piece of paper, anything on the ice, you're going to have damaging results because of that.
Brent Burns lugs it ahead and slams it in. Fire Wagon Hockey in Game 1, the 15 combined goals for the highest scoring playoff games in league history. And we're just over 3 minutes in. We've got one by each side already.
This is going to be one of those games, you think?
I don't know if I can handle that. Urov off a pass from Boldy, carries the Wild ahead. Danila Urov left wing side, stops at the hash marks. Chunked it down below the corner, hoping for Boldy. Comes back to Urov, center, Johansson. Taps up top for Damon Hunt. Swept along for Petrie. Petrie banked it off the end wall. Hunt thought about pinching. He'll bail out as Cale Makar gathers for the Avs. The only player to score twice in Game 1. There were 14 different goal scorers as Makar overhandles the puck, turned it over, and it's galloped along by Michael McCarron, whose shot is tipped by Taves out of play. Tom, what does that quick answer by the Wild do for Gustafsson in particular?
Well, it certainly energizes him also, because now he's thinking, well, hey, we're tied at this point. We gave up the first goal, but they came right back and they held up. But also for the guys in the bench, too, knowing full well that, hey, guys, let's be ready when we get our chance to get on the ice. Let's see if we can extend that, get that lead in the over the Avalanche right now. But Minnesota's just got to play their game and play smart.
Off the offensive zone draw, the Avalanche have it. Sam Malinsky, who got his first career Stanley Cup goal in Game 1. He had the opening tally, headmans. The Avalanche got 4 different defensemen to find the back of the net in Game 1. Somewhat of a rarity there across Stanley Cup playoff history. I mean, the superlatives from Game 1, statistically, through the charts. I could spend 20 minutes just giving you different stats and things that hadn't happened in 30 years in a playoff game, all in Game 1. Logan O'Connor bottled up by the Wild forecheck. Marcus Foligno just above the offensive blue line, sends it in. He'll chase now against Brett Kulak. Kulak reversed it. Malinsky kept it coming. Parker Kelly didn't get it out. Spurgeon stashes it around the wall. Jack Drury gets to it. Marcus Foligno took a run at him. Drury got the puck to center. Back is Jake Middleton, leaned on by O'Connor. So it's pumped along for Spurgeon, who got crunched in the corner as he feathered it ahead. Nico Sturm found Nick Foligno. Foligno jars it in. Wedgwood out with his goal stick off the glass. It will be held in by Ryan Hartman, fresh off the Wild bench at the right point. Spun back of the net, Nick Foligno, trying to win the war against Blankenberg, who also got his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal in Game 1. High stick infraction on the Avalanche here, playing a puck illegally. And a whistle here with 5:24 gone by in the opening period. Game 2 is tied at 1.
Yeah, that goal coming in just 6 seconds after the Avalanche scored their first goal, with Nick Nash getting the goal there. But that Kaprizov, that is goal number 3 for him in the playoff series. You look at Hartman, he picks up an assist. That's number 4 for him in playoffs. And Zuccarello picks up an assist as well. That is number 5.
Zuccarello's had a point in every playoff game he's played now. Hartman, 12 points his last 14 Stanley Cup playoff games. He had a goal on 7 shots in Game 1, did Ryan Hartman. Those 7 shots, second time in this playoffs with 7 shots as McKinnon tries to cut in front. Well defended there at the last moment by Hughes. Now McKinnon, tenacious, paddled it along. Taves a drive blocked by Kaprizov, and it rockets out of play. Yeah, the Wild bench time here banging their sticks. They like that effort by number 97.
Yeah, they certainly did. I'm watching Gus also. He's looking, I didn't know where the puck went. Once it deflected, he wasn't quite sure, but Minnesota just, and that's the encouragement you want. The guys on the bench, they're in touch. They know what's going on, and that little tapping of the sticks and so on is recognition for the guys on the ice and the job they've done.
Again, 15 combined goals in Game 1, a 9-6 win for the Avalanche. One of 10 games ever in Stanley Cup playoff history with 15 or more combined goals. And if you're curious, the most combined goals in the first 2 games ever of a playoff series, 24. Back in 1981, the Bruins and the Minnesota North Stars combined for 24 goals in the first 2 games of a series. And we're already now at 17 total goals in this series. And we haven't even played even close to 4 periods. McKinnon shoves it in from center.
Maybe another record coming.
You're off to Middleton. Spun along for Spurgeon. Had to chop it back for Jake Middleton. Blasted along the dasher left side and got it out to center. Following up the play, Marcus Johansson hands it off Urov. In onside, Danila Urov. Deep into the Avalanche zone. A side angle shot. Swallowed up and held by Wedgwood.
Yeah, nice play by Urov also coming down that left side there. Tried to find a little bit of an opening to the goaltender's right. There's none to be had.
Natchez for Colorado. Kaprizov for Minnesota. Early in Game 2, it's 1-1. When we come back, talk about some of the adjustments the Wild are looking to make here as this series moves along from Denver. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
That is what happened. I ain't guessing, I'm telling you. Nobody breaks down the drama of the NBA playoffs quite like Stephen A.
It's the theater. It ain't just a game. It's the theater of the game. You got to live for that.
Weekdays, 1 and 6 Eastern.
When the fervor steps up, you got to step up or you will succumb to it and you will fold.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on Sirius XM.
A show so nice, you get it twice on Channel 82, in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
24/7 hockey talk.
San Jose Shark, Alex Nedeljkovic. This Celebrini, is he really this good?
The moment's not too big for him, and I think you saw that in the Olympics this year, right? He's playing on the biggest stage with the best players in the world, and he's standing out in a good way. Every single night going forward, too, he's dragging us along and get guys going. You know, that's what great players do.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Housing lender.
Football season ticket members, even during the Stanley Cup playoffs, we're rewarding you for listening with Forever Wild Reward bonus points. Tonight's code is Unleash. That's Unleash. You enter it to receive 100 bonus points on your account. That offer will end at midnight tomorrow.
Sam Malinsky for the Avs off the right wing boards where Kulak takes over and got into the neutral zone. Mentioned back in Game 1, the Avs are Kulak's third team this season. Edmonton, a cup of coffee with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then the Avs traded Sam Girard for Kulak just before the trade deadline. Johansson up high for Hughes. Wild having the offensive zone. Hughes, who leads the NHL in postseason scoring, fired one in front. It knuckled wide. 11 points for Hughes. Back-to-back three-point games. Hughes through the high slot, a backhanded shot. That whistled wide. Kaprizov to the carom. Off to Johansson. Whipped it back of the net. Here's Boldy. Matt Boldy, left wing side. So Kaprizov out here with Johansson and Boldy with Hughes in favor of the defense pair. Hughes tries to spin away from Landeskog. Kept that puck in, but Johansson had it batted away by Malinsky.
Minnesota skating well in this game so far.
Boldy in the neutral zone, bumped. Picking up the puck is Hughes. Hughes trying to sneak through the slot. Had it tapped away. He'll just peel back and go for a change as the Avs reverse to Kulak left side. In the regular season, the Wild went 2-1-1 against the Avalanche. Each team won a game in the shootout. Gustafsson in this building right out of the Olympic break was phenomenal. He stopped 44 of 45. Remember, that was a game where he got sick late in the third. Vomited in the goal crease. Volstead came in. And then Gus did finish up the last couple of moments of that hockey game. And so Gustafsson has played well against the Avs in his career. A couple of games in this building in particular. Splendid starts. And again, as John Hines talked about a little bit, that decision was made and announced officially. Some of the decision to get Gustafsson in there is a chance here by the Wild. Wedgwood made the save. We've got a penalty call coming. I think this is on Minnesota.
Yeah, we're going to check on that one right now and see a player going to the penalty box.
Minnesota 13, minor penalty, high sticking.
So Trenyon to the box for high sticking. And again, some of the decision to start Gustafson just to give young Jesper Wallstedt a little bit of a break. He's never played 7 consecutive games at the NHL level until this playoff run. And part of it is as well with Gustafson having not played since April the 13th in St. Louis. If you don't get him in now and you need him later in the series for whatever reason, then he's been on ice even longer. Big test here with the Avs power play, which went 1 for 2 in Game 1, just their second goal of the postseason. And really, another goal they scored was seconds after Faber came out of the box, and he wasn't even able to impact the play. Avs control off the draw with Makar at center point, feeding Natchez. Natchez down low, a tap pass, they score. Landeskog wide open, it's 2-1.
Well, the penalty killing for Minnesota has not been kind this year. There's no question about that. You look at Minnesota and the PK, they rank 15 out of 16 teams that have been in playoff competition, and especially on the road. That's the 4th one they've given up in 15 chances, which is not good. Overall, they rank number 15 overall in the penalty killing department. That's the 12th goal they've given up in 28 chances. Just not, for whatever reason, Joe, it's not working for them. That puck just goes under the stick of Middleton. He put the stick down, but it wasn't flat enough. And as we all, the puck went underneath, down the far side, it's in the net. And with that, Avalanche have a 2-1 lead.
The captain, Gabriel Landeskog, now a 5-game point streak. 6 points in the playoffs. And 77 in his postseason career. It's 2 goals on 2 shots for Colorado. As we have an icing call on the Avs right off the center ice faceoff.
And how do you fix this? How do you fix this PK? It's just been horrible. I said that at the beginning of the year. Last year was a bad year, and this year is not much better.
Last year, the Wild in the series against the Vegas Golden Knights were at 72.2%. They've now allowed 12 power play goals in 7+ games this postseason.
And McKinnon and Natchez both will pick up assists on that for McKinnon. That's assist number 6. For Natchez, that is number 6 as well with the assist.
McKinnon now 8 points his last 3 playoff games, including tonight. And Natchez, who had a career best 3 points in Game 1 in the postseason, already has a goal and an assist in this hockey game. The Wild go back to work, trailing 2-1. Jared Bednar this morning, the Avalanche head coach, who's, by the way, got the 10th most regular season and playoff combined wins in NHL history. As Gustafson stops a long shot by Kelly. The rebound, Drury up high. A drive by Kulak was tipped. Kick save, Gustafson. Jared Bednar said today he kind of expected, a 2-1 type hockey game after 9-6 in Game 1.
Well, that's where we are right now.
Yep, that's where we are right now with 50 minutes left. Maybe more. McKinnon tries to streak in. He'll take Middleton to the corner. Middleton pinned him up. Centering pass by McKinnon swiped away. And the Wild dart up ice with Kaprizov, who has the Wild goal. His pass turned over the offensive line. And now Cale Makar carries Colorado along off the Taves, flings it into the cross corner, and that went out of play.
Yeah, and the one thing when you watch Colorado, the thing they can do so well is get speed going through those that neutral ice there between the blue lines, and that's where Minnesota has to guard against. They've got to get the bodies in front of that puck carrier and slow them down coming into their offensive zone.
So again, back to some things the Wild are going to look to improve on. The forecheck, and we said it going into Game 1. You can't get rolled off. So if you're the first or second forechecker, you got to be smart about when you make contact. John Hines saying, if you're 2 stick lengths away, don't go for the hit. Reload. Back checking going to be key for the Wild. If they get beat up the ice by the Avalanche third forward, the Avalanche's 2 defensemen, they're going to struggle not only in this game but in this series. Too many times the Wild forecheck got rolled off, got beat up the ice, and then their line rush coverage coming back in the defensive zone wasn't good enough in Game 1.
And the one thing Minnesota has to recognize, they're probably playing against the fastest team in the league. The speed they have, especially in the front end and the back end.
And John Hines stressing a lot of the issues were fixable on the goals against from Game 1. A couple of face-off plays and some of that D-zone coverage. Nelson off the steal to Taves. Now Landeskog, and he fumbled it away. Boy, in a lane left circle. Landeskog resets up high for Makar. Makar trying to shift around Kaprizov, a right circle shot. Trapped and held by Gustafson.
And that's what Gus needs. He needs some action there, get himself into the game there, and really focusing where that puck is coming from.
Halfway through the first, shots are 5-2 Avalanche, and Colorado leads game 2, 2-1 in Denver. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now, that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs, so you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You know you need to do it. Your family knows you need to do it. Heck, even the neighbors know. But you keep putting it off. Listen, procrastinating won't replace your roof, but JTR Roofing will. Listen, JTR is experienced and trusted and local. They back their work because they're your neighbors. Roofing, siding, gutters. Learn more at roofwithjtr.com. Roofwithjtr.com.
JTR, for quality roofing, JTR.
A Pentair scoreboard update, playoff style.
Wild and Avalanche, the only game tonight, but before the game, they held the NHL Draft Lottery, and look who won that.
12.
Number 12.
The number 12, the Toronto Maple Leafs have won the NHL Draft Lottery, and Matt Sundin is smiling ear to ear.
Third time in franchise history for the Leafs. They got Wendell Clark in 85, Austin Matthews in 2016, and probably Gavin McKenna in a few months. The Sharks, they'll draft second overall. The Canucks fall to third. That's it for now. Back to Joe and Tom.
And San Jose will be number 2 in there. Well deserved, but Toronto getting the ladder just what they need. There's a lot of pressure on whoever's going to be number 1, though. Whoever comes into that fold, no question about that, Joe. And right now, though, the pressure right now is on Minnesota to try and tie up the target. They have to stay out of the penalty box.
By the way, the Vancouver Canucks still never won the draft lottery in franchise history, from what I heard earlier. And they had, by far and away, the league's worst record this season. A tough break there for Vancouver. Boldy was just clipped up high. No call. Faber took a Boldy pass, gave it right back to number 12 in white, who got tripped up at center, gets back to his skates, and hangs on to the puck again, finding eventually Danila Urov, who rattled it along Johansson. In onside, Johansson cuts right wing wall, down low Boldy. Boldy cutting out in front with a shot. It went just wide. Urov steals offensive zone left wing wall.
Yeah, great effort by Boldy to get to the front of the net.
Well, I think those two potential calls that weren't made just energized Boldy there to be a man possessed. Faber from the neutral zone slipped it back in the Wild, finishing a line change. Here's Malinsky. Malinsky, who spent 4 seasons at Cornell, played it to Brent Burns. Burns hacked it ahead. Waugh chipping it further. It's Ross Colton, hounded by Damon Hunt. John Hines thought Damon Hunt played very well in Game 1, his Stanley Cup playoff debut. Said he skates well, defended hard against the Avs. Kadri checked by Petrie. Petrie comes up with the puck, shoves it off the glass left side, got to bounce out the center, and hustling back for it is Kulak. Brett Kulak pounding one along. Colton kept it coming, and a hand pass on the Avs. Halts play with 8:35 to go in the first.
Well, the Minnesota Wild are hosting an outdoor viewing party outside Grand Casino Arena on Saturday night for game number 3. We're closing West 7th between Kellogg and 5th Street in this free event that's open to everybody. The event begins at 5, puck drops at 8 with food and beverage available. Get more information at wild.com/playoffs.
And don't forget, right down the street, Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. If it's too chaotic at the viewing party,
it's going to be chaotic all along West 7th Street. I can assure you that.
Zuccarello steals, couldn't find some help in the offensive zone. Zuccarello now keeps in just barely. It's sent out to center on a second effort by the Avs. Regrouped to Middleton. Left wing boards by the Colorado bench. Flips it in. Taves to McCarr. Kaprizov checks him. Tried to knock it free. McKinnon supported well and bursts up ice. Here's a 3-on-2 for the Avalanche. Right side Natchez. Good stick by Middleton. Deflected that pass away. Eventually it's worked around by the Avs and up high to McCarr. McCarr finds Natchez a long shot. Knocked down in front. Taves a big kick save. Rebound. What a stop. Middleton saved the goal. Got his stick in there on that rebound bid. Kaprizov cuts ahead the other way for the Wild. Kirill Kaprizov, hounded by several Avalanche players, just couldn't get a shot through. Boy, Tom, that was another instance. Offensive zone. And just a little play right around the hash marks. Hartman got beat, and Colorado went ahead on a 3-on-2.
Yeah, and they're so good at capitalizing on those little mistakes that other teams make. There's no question about it.
Hughes just got held back of the net, arm up from the official. Faber picks up the loose puck, jarred it along. Marcus Foligno settles it down. Back off to Faber, wheels in, spins left wing dasher, flipped it back to Marcus Foligno, just floats it to center with Gustafson at the bench. The Wild regroup. By the way, Marcus Foligno getting his second career shorthanded goal in a Wild sweater. That gave the Wild a brief 5-4 lead in game one. Wes Wall is the only other player with 2 shorthanded goals in the postseason in Wild history. Again, a delayed call on the Avalanche. Hughes picks up the pace, starts through the slot, swept it back Faber with Boldy nearby, played it that way. Boldy tried to sneak it back to Faber, leaks to center. Again, the Wild peel back out. Faber trying to go to the bench. Kulak intercepts, and there is the touch-up.
And here is the call for the penalty also, going against the Canucks.
All right, 11, 2 minutes holding.
Brock Nelson to the box for the Avs.
So we'll see if Minnesota can capitalize on the power play. You look at power play right now, they're 14.3%. They've got 4 power play goals and 28 chances, and on the road, of those 4, 3 of them came on the road.
The top unit's going to look a little different tonight. We saw Brock Faber out there with Quinn Hughes, so 2 defensemen in game one. Now Ryan Hartman stands to the right of Boldy. Boldy in game one was excellent in the face-off circle, winning 4 of 5, and was dominant on the Wild's 3 power plays as far as getting the puck back. So it's Boldy, Hartman, Kaprizov, Hughes, and Zuccarello. And now twice this postseason, the Wild have had a different-looking top unit. Remember back in the first series, no Zuccarello for a stretch, and now no Eric Sinek. Boldy in the high slot to Kaprizov for a one-timer, swallowed up by Wedgwood with Hartman camped out in front.
Yeah, Wedgwood has not been too busy at this point. Minnesota, I think that's just their 3rd shot on that so far. 6 coming off the 6 of the Avalanche at this point. The face-off to the left of their goaltender.
0 for 3 in game one were the Wild. 4 for 28 in the playoffs. Avs penalty kill, 84.2%, 16 out of 19 so far. Draw 1 to Hughes, who skates across the blue line. Now Kaprizov outside the right circle. Wild trailing 2-1 here in game 2. 6.5 minutes to go in the first. Kaprizov keeps looking and then sent one to the slot that Boldy jabbed wide. Hartman hustled to it. Kaprizov up top. Muscled it quickly to Hughes. Sprayed back along for Kaprizov off the right wing boards. Boldy on the pop-out play through the high slot with a shot blocker saved by Wedgwood. Rebound. Hartman couldn't jab it home. Puck not cleared. Another drive by Boldy. Tipped down by Hartman. He whacks away, and Wedgwood a couple of stops, and then he gets knocked into. Bodies all around the blue paint, and Wedgwood took a big collision there after the whistle.
Yeah, bodies came right into him. Everybody's in that blue paint there except for the 2 Minnesota defensemen who are still just inside the offensive blue line.
Boy, those are some big saves by Wedgwood. Boldy uncontested high slot. Boldy again from even longer range, and it tipped off something.
What I like, Joe, is the fact that Minnesota's getting opportunities. They're getting chances to get that puck to the front of the net, and Wedgwood had to be quick to that one. He was just a little bit lucky also on that play where the puck just kind of squirted under his pad. Was able to sit down on top of it.
And then Taves threw Hartman onto his netminder, so nothing Hartman did foul there other than getting a chunk of Wedgwood. And pushing him back in the net. It's the Wedgie Chance start. One of the better nicknames in hockey, if you ask me.
And you watch also Hartman, when he won the draw there, he knew where the puck was going. He goes right to that blue paint area looking for a possible deflection or get a rebound coming off the goaltender. But Wedgwood will have nothing of that one. That'll bring the face-off to the Avalanche goaltender's right.
Drury won it back. Avalanche clear ahead and get it to center. Minute 20 left on the power play. Hughes resets, bursts back in, flipping it off left wing side. Zuccarello goes rink wide. Boldy protects the puck, shook past the pressure of O'Connor. Feeds Zuccarello, fumbled it for a moment, rolls it back to Boldy. One touch to Hughes right side. Hughes along the boards, back to the left point. Boldy, a long shot, tipped by Hartman, knocked down by the double Wedgwood, and Brent Burns muscles the loose change down.
What I like about Minnesota in this power play also, they're moving the hook quickly, they're going tape to tape, they're getting opportunities.
Hughes on the reset through the neutral zone, faked the drop pass, then did swirl it back for Marcus Johansson. Johansson steps in over the blue line, got it to Kaprizov, tap back Johansson, trying to fight past the pressure, then got it to Hughes, whose feed was tipped. Urov rescues it. Left wing side, Jared Spurgeon, back to the point of Hughes, a quick shot whistle wide off the end wall. Kaprizov jabbed it, then spiking it one was Urov, and he threw his head to the rafters as it went wide.
Yeah, he thought he had it.
Johansson right circle, good pressure, and presence here by the Wild. Power play. Hughes to Johansson. A goal line feed. Kaprizov floats one in front. Wedgwood sprawled out to get a chunk of it. No whistle yet. And now Urov getting manhandled in front by Lehkonen. And finally a halt in play. 5:02 to go in the first. 18 seconds left on the power play. The shots are now 7 apiece, but game one still with a 2-1 edge for Colorado.
Yeah, Urhoff was still down. Now he's talking to the referee also. He was not happy that there was no call on that. He thought there should have been, but none to be had. And with that, stoppage of play will bring the face-off deep in the Colorado zone.
That last stop by Wedgwood without his goal stick. It was down to his right, nowhere near him, to be quite honest. So the full second unit is out there now. Urov, Tarasenko, Johansson, Spurgeon, and Faber. 18 seconds to go on the power play. Draw to the left of Wedgwood. Urov trying to win it back. Tarasenko helps to the point. Brock Faber finds Vladimir Tarasenko. Goal line pass Johansson to the back post, a little too far for the reach of Spurgeon. Power play winding down. Urov in the high slot. Paddles it to Tarasenko. Back to Urov. Set it up for Faber. A one-timer cranked wide. It'll skip out the center. And Nelson jumps out of the box. But boy, good-looking power play all around, Tom.
Absolutely was. They're moving the puck well. They're moving with authority also, what you really like. And that's a confidence builder for that guys on this, but also the guys who are going to be on the ice next.
4.5 minutes to go opening period. Game 2. In a best of 7 NHL history, when the home team takes a 2-0 series lead, they advance 88% of the time. The Wild, of course, the road team in this series. Avalanche won the President's Trophy, 121 points, as Gustafsson shuffles one off the left wing dasher. Foligno goes rink wide. It's gathered by Faber and spiked along to Middleton. Chopped up by Marcus Foligno. Flings it along. It's Sturm with the Foligno brothers here from Minnesota, and that puck floated in from long range is caught and held by Wedgwood. 4:03 to go in the first. When we come back to Denver, another good one shaping up in game 2. The Wild trail the Avs 2-1. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Hey, Wild fans, spring weather is finally here, but in Minnesota, that can be unpredictable. That's why it's good to know the knowledgeable and friendly dealers at Bryant Heating and Cooling, who will do whatever it takes to keep your heating and cooling system running safely and efficiently, no matter what the weather throws at you. Plus, ask your local participating dealer about rebates or 0% interest for 60 months for qualified buyers. Find your local Bryant dealer at Bryant.com. That's Bryant.com, official heating and cooling company of the Minnesota Wild.
Take the leap. Make a splash. You want to keep up with your granddaughter. After all, she keeps you young. And a sore knee, back, or shoulder doesn't have to take that away. At TRIA, our physical therapists will help you treat whatever's holding you back. We use the latest therapy techniques and equipment to decrease pain and accelerate healing. With TRIA by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit TRIA.com to make an appointment.
She was the sister who went unnoticed.
A daffodil might look plain next to a lily, but on its own there is much to be admired.
Now, her greatest chapter is yet to come.
The most important thing is to be yourself.
From the world of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice comes a new BritBox original drama.
Mary, you will flourish.
Based on the best-selling novel, The Other Bennett Sister. Now streaming only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Hotline is running strong through the Stanley Cup playoffs. Join us each night during the second and first intermission. We'll have something for in between both the periods for a chance to win dinner at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. Get involved now by texting your questions or comments to 64686. And Tracy Meyer of the NHL.com will be our guest after period number 1. She's been covering hockey for a long time.
Off the draw, a battle to the left of Wedgwood. Scooped up by the Avs. It banks off Faber and gets to center. Faber and Hughes in close proximity. Hughes took over. Couldn't muscle past a good stick of Colton. Darting in now, Nick Waz. Waz spins out of the corner to Colton. A hurried shot blocked by Michael McCarron. Wild don't get it out initially. McCarron battles. Got it free. Tarasenko just chips ahead. Boy, he's just shy of the red line. They're going to call that icing. Had the steam to cross the goal line.
Yeah, McCarron, one of those guys, also has got that big body. I'd like to see him use that more in a physical presence, but he also can get some goals. He can win some face-offs for you. Able to do that.
And game 1, Tom, he won 16 of 22 face-offs, one of the best percentages in Wild history in a Stanley Cup playoff game on a minimum of 20 draws taken.
And that's one thing that Billy Guerin did. They, brought in players at the trade deadline that gives Minnesota a little more muscle with a hockey club, which they really needed. There's no question about that.
Kulak off the one face up to the right circle. A shot at the outside of the net. As Gustafsson was pushing to his left, Hughes to the loose change, carries Minnesota ahead, curls back now. Faber had to go to the bench, lost his helmet. Petrie's out there right now with Hughes as Nico Sturm in the neutral zone. Won a Stanley Cup with the Avs in 2022. Will force the issue up ice. And now Colorado retreats with Malinsky, drilling it off the boards, kept in nicely by Marcus Foligno. Foligno then hog-tied by Landeskog. And Nichushkin through the neutral zone for the Avs. Swung it back, Kulak shot, deflected, pinball just wide. Hunt checked behind the net by Nelson. Hunt will retreat now on a spun back puck, reversed to his left wing corner. His feed onto the tape of Petrie, who's got some open ice for the Wild. Jeff Petrie lugs it along and snaps it in as he hits the offensive blue line. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in the first, in game 2. 3 goals in the first 8:24. Things have settled in a bit since. Wild 0 for 1 on the power play. Avs 1 for 1. The shots are 8-7 Minnesota. With Colorado leading 2-1. Middleton back to retrieve it from Gustafsson. Broken stick of Nelson still back behind the Wild cage. It's sliced along. Zuccarello trying to chip it forward for Hartman. Taves hounding him. Now Kaprizov had it, lost it. Zuccarello whacks at it. Just driving it free for Hartman, a glove down. Hartman fought through some pressure, handed it back Kaprizov. Stepping it onside, left circle. Little chip move by Kaprizov. Swung it in front, intercepted by Taves, and flopped out the center. Middleton on the reset to Hartman. Waiting for a lane, finds Kaprizov over the offensive blue line right side. Drop past Zuccarello, a shot blocked. Zuccarello to his own rebound. Swept it to the point, Faber keeps in. His pass was dangerous right across the Wild blue line. Nate just took over and moved it along Lehkonen. Finds McKinnon, watched by Hughes. A stop and shoot move by McKinnon, swatted away by the Wild defensively. Now Kaprizov left wing side in his own zone. Mohawks pass some trouble. Weaves it back for Hughes as both teams change. Final 90 seconds of the first. Onto the tape of Matt Boldy. Was that Quinn Hughes' pass? He'll just deal it back the way of Hughes. Again, leading the postseason in points coming into this hockey game. Fastest ever to 10 career Stanley Cup playoff points in Wild history, by the way. As Johansson got to a failed goalie handle. Side angle shot ricocheted off of Wedgwood. The Wild keep it in the offensive zone. Boldy looking to center. Blocked by Kadri. Boldy hounds to get it back. Whipped it to Danila Urov. Urov on the interchange. Banked it down deeper into the Avalanche zone. But Kadri able to swipe it free. And Colorado gets to the center. Quick regroup by the Wild. Right back in on side right wing for Johansson. Turned to his backhand. Tried to leak it in front. He did. Urov dumped the man. Couldn't come up with the puck. He was open in front. Had he been able to get a stick on it, Tom?
Yeah, I would have liked him to see him dump the puck in there, not the man.
Yeah, he and Taves tangled up. Taves went into his net, but Urov couldn't get a stick free in time. Final 40 seconds now. The first is Landeskog sails to center. A bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Hustling to it, Faber. Twisted along for Hughes. Another thing to consider with all the time off. Game 3 not till Saturday. Hughes and Faber should be able to play a ton of minutes tonight. Steal by Tarasenko on a neutral zone giveaway. 20 seconds left in the first. Tarasenko darts in. Taves stick checked him well. Tarasenko couldn't get a shot through. At the right point, Faber a bit. Blocked. Landeskog to it. Skating the Avalanche to center. McCarron picked his pocket. One last chance for the Wild. In over the blue line right side comes Petrie. Petrie deep in the Avalanche zone with a shot that tips. With 4.1 seconds left in the first. A face-off coming up.
Yeah, that tipped out the goaltender into the netting, and so they'll keep the face-off deep in the Avalanche zone here with, 4.1 second remaining in the first period. Avs lead by a score of 2-1. Avs has had 7 shots in the first period. Minnesota with 9 shots. Minnesota's playing well. They're skating, they're moving the puck well. They're getting themselves in a position where they can receive a puck to make something happen offensively. And they're going north with it, which you like to see. Avalanche win this draw back. Kulak takes it along his end wall. He's leaned on there, and that takes us through 20. So Natchez at 2:51 on the first shot that Gustafsson saw. 6 seconds later, response by the Wild. Kaprizov uncontested. But then the Avs on the power play at 8:24 striking for a 2-1 lead. After one period in Game 2, that's where we stand. Colorado 2, Minnesota 1. Tracy Myers from NHL.com joins Tom Reed in a moment. Here from Ball Arena in Denver. We're back after this. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by Grand Casino.
Rolling thunder out of the ballpark, and the Braves Braves win it! As the daily drama of Major League Baseball unfolds, there's a channel dedicated to the conversation.
It's the ability the Atlanta Braves have to win baseball games via the slug.
MLB Network Radio is the place for passionate, informed opinions on the stories that matter to you.
Each night there's a little different way that they're winning.
Join the daily conversation on Sirius XM Channel 89 and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Beauty machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. The playoffs are here.
Back around on the far post of the forehand, and the save made by Swayman. Draisaitl in front of the goal. Score! Hughes leaves it. Cagliari out in front. McKinnon scores!
16 teams made the cut.
And only one can bring home the
now
prize.
It's McDavid towards the net. Across to Roslovic. Score! Shot on McKinnon. Score! Caulfield moving in. Shot. Score!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
But don't you see similarities there in Florida in the East, Vegas in the West? Because when you look at the draft picks or lack thereof, at some point we gave it a run. It's going to be time to pay the piper, isn't it? Now, I don't think that time has come for either franchise, but we can see where this is ultimately going.
But then again, it does make it difficult because you're on that treadmill. Eventually, it stops. And bottom line, you empty the tank and you got the ultimate prize. That makes it worth it.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles for the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
3mopen.com.
Colorado 4-0 and scoring first this year. Here's a chance for the Wild. Kaprizov's in alone. He scores! Kaprizov gets it right back. A breakaway that he rifled glove side right off the center ice draw. And it's 1-1 in game two.
And that comes at 2:57, so just 6 seconds apart between those two goals. And boy, what a difference that makes. And joining me right now also watching the game, Tracy Meyer from the NHL.com watching this. And how quick was that? I mean, you give up a goal, and we saw a lot of goals the last game.
Yeah.
We did. But at the same time, that was a huge goal for Minnesota to come back like they did in that getting their first goal.
No, absolutely. And, I was finishing up typing one goal, and all of a sudden you look up and there's another one. And, great feed from Ryan Hartman, who Chicago Blackhawks folks know very well from back in the day. Yep. And, so just a great quick strike. And we were just talking to Kaprizov yesterday about, him getting going a little bit and everything. And nice one for him.
Yeah, it really has been. When you look at that first game also, I mean, how anyone had that 15 goals in that game, 9-6, and you're going, what has happened here?
Right.
Where's the defense? There didn't appear to be any.
No, and you've got two teams that defense is, as much as they can score, defense is very much a part of their games, be it regular season, be it in their first rounds here. That was quite the surprise. It was funny. I was listening to the telecast, and they were talking about the last time that it happened was Calgary-Edmonton. I believe it was 2022. I was at that game. I clearly have blocked it out
because of that many goals. But no, I mean, listen, as Jared Bednar said this morning, he'd love a 2-1, 1-0 game. We're at 2-1 right now, but if you're a fan of hockey and you love scoring, it was a tremendous game. I mean, it was fun. It was exciting. It was exhilarating. But if you're a fan of defense, you were probably cringing a few times.
Yeah, and if you're a player, it's fun on one side, but not so much on the other side.
No, exactly.
But the one thing Minnesota kept doing, they kept coming back. Yes. They gave up the first 3 goals of the game, but they battled hard, and they knew they had to make some adjustments going into a game like today. And right now, this is a very important game for Minnesota to win. They don't want to be down 2-0 going back home.
Absolutely, and this time of year, you know it and I know it. It's about the mental toughness as much as it is the physical, right? And game 1, like you said, almost said Winnipeg. The Wild definitely showed their mettle there, and came up short. But in years past, would they have even come close? There are times. But John Hines was talking yesterday about the guys that they have on this team, who maybe they haven't been in Minnesota the entire time, but they have experience from the playoffs, from playing for different teams. And so they know the grind. They know what it takes at this time of year. And, it's just good to see. I think this is going to be a very competitive series. Even past game 1, I know that was crazy. But, the Wild are a different beast this year from what I've seen, as far as I can see.
Yeah, I thought Billy Guerin did a nice job at the trade deadline, bringing some muscle, but also some good experience for this hockey club to help his team get into the playoffs and hopefully get beyond the first round.
You all took Nick Foligno from us in Chicago. He just wanted the brothers together. I get it. You have him who's just, as you know, just a tremendous voice. And, he's still a good player, but that voice and that veteran leadership is something that you can get. You bring in McCarron, who nice big body. Obviously Quinn Hughes was the big fish. And you're just seeing that on display here. I'm just watching every time him and Makar are on the ice. It's just beautiful. But no, Billy Guerin has done a tremendous job with his team getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I don't know if we really realized how good that he was going to be for us when we got him from Vancouver. I mean, he's one of those guys that controls the puck so well. Yeah. But to watch him game in and game out, and Quinn does a great job of just controlling the puck. And he's hard to get to. Even though he's got the puck on that blue line, he follows that blue line, and they can't get to him.
No, exactly. He changes a team, right? That's why you go and get a guy like that, is it just kind of alters things and it molds things better, and he's just such a world-class player. And it's been fantastic to watch him, and what a get for the Wild.
I assume you heard the news that Toronto will get the first draft choice for next year.
I did, yes. Sorry, Blackhawks folks back home.
You guys had enough.
They've done all right over the last couple of years, and even 4, I'm sure they'll be fine. But a lot of stuff going on in Toronto right now. But that's great news for them.
Yeah, the league, since salary cap came into being, and you've been around for a long time to watch it when it came in, and the thing is that it really has solidified this league to be much more competitive with each other.
Yeah, you look at the standings this year, especially in the West, getting into the playoffs, and it's one of those things where I kind of like. You look at the playoffs here, and you look at some of the different faces that they have in the playoffs this year, and how much is that because of that? Buffalo's back in it. Ottawa was in it again. Montreal's back in it. So, you've got Anaheim is back in it. So, you've got this great competitiveness going on in the league right now. And, I think it's led to some fun in the playoffs that I didn't expect.
Yeah, you mentioned Buffalo. What a treat it is for them. They've been out of the playoffs 14 years and found they're into it, and they get that first round, and they take that into consideration. They get to the second round and go from there. But the fans they're right on the board there across from Fort Ontario, my hometown, so I know where Buffalo is. But it's interesting to watch how the fans really have gravitated towards that team once again.
Well, I went to school at St. Bonaventure University, and that's only about 90 minutes down the road from Buffalo. And so that fan base has been waiting for a very long time. And actually, the Sabres were in Chicago when they beat the Blackhawks to win the Atlantic. And, just the vibe. Just the energy that team has right now, and the excitement that they had even getting into the playoffs. And now you've got them going into the second round. I would love to have been in that arena. I don't think TV can capture it. TV radio cannot capture how excited that building was.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you look at the league right now, it's so close. It's unpredictable what's going to happen. But, I mean, we're seeing a lot of goals being scored. We're seeing a lot of good plays, a lot of good players, and we're seeing teams really stepping up. So it's going to be a fun run to the end.
This is the best time of year, Not Christmas for me. The playoffs are my Christmas.
Tracy Meyer, NHL.com, our guest here. Kevin, let's go back to you.
All right, Thomas, thank you, Tracy, for joining us in the intermission. You can have a gift certificate down to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. We got a good one on our hands after one period of play. Wild trail the Avalanche 2-1. We'll give you a recap next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Xcel Energy's home energy squad experts love helping you save energy. It makes their day to weather strip a door. Setting up a new smart thermostat is real high-five material. They have dreams about upgrading your light bulbs to LEDs. And installing a more efficient showerhead is actually one of their love languages. Let the experts who love to help you save energy help you save money. Appointments are now free at xcelenergy.com/squad with free installation of eligible energy-saving equipment.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken. And shop happy.
Okay, kids. Ever seen a BMO debit card disappear? It goes under my hat, and with a twirl of my wand, magic. It's gone.
Cool. Can you bring it back?
No. But I can lock it on my phone.
Okay. So what now?
Now I go to a BMO branch and get a new one printed instantly.
Sounds like BMO are the real magicians.
Well, yeah, when you put it like that.
Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
BMO.
Playoff hockey is built on teamwork, trust, and showing up when it matters most. From the pressure of the postseason to the work done every day behind the scenes. ArchKey Solutions is a proud sponsor of the Minnesota Wild, and they bring that same mindset to the work they do across job sites nationwide. From the field to the office, they put people first, lead with safety, and invest in real opportunities to grow. Ready to build what matters? Power your career with ArchKey. Apply today at archkey.com/wild. Game 2 of round 2, live from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Wild taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Both teams score on their first shot on goal. Nate just scores for the Avalanche. The thrill for the Wild.
Colorado 4-0 and scoring first this year. Here's a chance for the Wild. Kaprizov's in alone. He scores! Kaprizov gets it right back. A breakaway that he rifled glove side right off the center ice draw. And it's 1-1 in game 2.
And that comes at 2:57, so just 6 seconds apart between those two goals. And boy,
yeah, just 6 seconds apart. Fifth fastest 2 goals by both teams in Stanley Cup playoff histories. The Wild have done it 6 seconds apart, but Landeskog scores on the power play. The PK continues to haunt the Minnesota Wild. Avalanche lead the Wild 2-1 after 1 period of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
The fastest game on ice. He scores! Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Wild end up out shooting the Avalanche 9-7 in that first period. 8 first period saves for Scott Wedgwood. 5 for Philip Gustafsson. That's right, Philip Gustafsson between the pipes. His first start of this postseason, replacing Jesper Wallstedt. Thus far, the Avalanche a sparkling 1-for-1 on the power play as they just needed just 15 seconds to score. The Wild 0-for-1 with a man advantage, but did have 5 shots on goal with the power play. They didn't find the back of the net, but they're showing improvement. It's a start, right? We can tell you this much. Through 1 period of play, the Avalanche lead the Wild 2-1 from Ball Arena. We'll break, and then when we continue, we got the second period of game number 2 coming your way from Denver. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Not far away, but nothing close to ordinary. Grand Casino is right here, ready to surprise you with the ultimate staycation.
With big games, better rewards, beautiful hotels, and entertainment catered to you. The thrills just never let up. So make the trip and feel it for yourself. Every mile leads to more at Grand Casino.
Hey, Wild fans, spring weather is finally here, but in Minnesota, that can be unpredictable. That's why it's good to know the knowledgeable and friendly dealers at Bryant Heating and Cooling, who will do whatever it takes to keep your heating and cooling system running safely and efficiently, no matter what the weather throws at you. Plus, ask your local participating dealer about rebates or 0% interest for 60 months for qualified buyers. Find your local Bryant dealer at Bryant.com. That's Bryant.com, official heating and cooling company of the Minnesota Wild.
Wake up at 5. Lace up their skates. You want to see them win state. After all, that's all your kid dreams about. And a strain, sprain, or break doesn't have to take that away. Tria Orthopedic Urgent Care is here for them 7 days a week with no appointment needed. And with Save My Spot, you can reserve your place in line and show up closer to check-in time. With Tria by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit tria.com/SaveMySpot to learn more.
Coming to see the Wild in the playoffs? You probably won't score a goal for them, but you can score big with the Wild Foundation pull tabs. Wild Foundation pull tabs are available now at the Michelob Golden Light Tap House at Grand Casino Arena for all Wild home games. Wild Foundation pull tabs give you the chance to win cash while supporting the Minnesota Wild Foundation's mission to grow the game and improve the lives of families across the state of hockey.
What a win by the Minnesota Wild!
Winners win. The Wild Foundation wins. The state of hockey wins.
When it comes to strength, reliability, and performance, you need a team that delivers every time. That's why the pros trust Metropolitan Gravel Company, the preferred aggregate transportation provider of the Minnesota Wild. From construction sites to major infrastructure projects, Metropolitan Gravel Company moves the materials that keep Minnesota building strong. Fast, dependable, built on hard work, just like hockey in the state of hockey. Visit metrogravel.com for more information. metrogravel.com, driving up the standard of excellence.
This is playoff hockey. This is do or die. The Minnesota Wild are battling the Colorado Avalanche, and you don't just watch it, you live it. Take the game anywhere with Pleasureland RV, outside the arena, on the road, or surrounded by your crew. This is your home base for every hit, every goal, every moment. Playoff energy, open road freedom, one team, one ride. Pleasureland RV. Let's go wild.
Welcome back to Denver. Second period of Game 2 between the Wild and the Avalanche. Colorado leads the best 7, 1-0. They have a 2-1 lead over the Wild here in Game 2. By the way, there were 20 comeback wins in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And entering play today, May the 5th, 41 of 49 Stanley Cup playoff games this postseason within one goal at some point in the third period. We've got a one-goal game here, but still a lot of hockey left with the Wild skating from right to left on your radio dial in the second. Avalanche from left to right. All right, Tom, felt like the Wild settled into the first period. What'd you see?
I liked the first period. I really did the way the Wild played. They were skating. As a result of that, they're making good decisions with the puck also that had a chance to make some good things happen. And also the guys coming on the ice, and those player changes have really been terrific in the way they've come out of the ice and they're ready to go.
Faber, right point, holds his own, spun it around the end wall. Getting to this, Natchez out now for Arturi Lehkonen. Natchez follows it up, darts into the Wild slot, trying to step around Faber. 100 points in the regular season, 7th in the NHL in that category for Martin Natchez. Faber, left side, one hands it along. Zuccarello uses glove to get it up, not out. Devon Taves will activate, swerving it off McKinnon, threw one in front. It knuckles around. Hartman gloves it down to his stick and clears to center. In fact, all the way down it goes, icing on the Wild.
Yeah, I don't think you wanted to do that, but nonetheless, you got it out of the zone. Now you have to win the draw, which hopefully will go Minnesota's way. And that draw is so important, especially in the defensive zone. And it'll be to the right of Philip Gustafsson.
Game 1, the Wild won 63% of the faceoffs opening period here in Game 2. Colorado won 67% of the faceoffs. They win another one here. Kulak turned it over. Kaprizov steals. Nichushkin trying to chase him down. Kirill Kaprizov at the end of his shift takes it into the right wing side of the Avalanche zone. Set it up high for Spurgeon, fresh off the bench. His snapshot is caught and held by Wedgwood.
Nice play by Kaprizov also. Wedgwood able to see that puck coming all the way in. He grabs onto it. That'll bring the face-off. I believe it's going to be to his right. Well, when playoff tickets drop, every second counts. Be the first to know and secure your seats before they sell out. Text playoffs to 222-100 to sign up for Wild playoff ticket alerts now.
Mentioned the rarity of 15 combined goals in a playoff game, one of 10 times ever. Brett Kulak of the Avalanche was with the Edmonton Oilers in 2022 when they had a 9-6 loss in Game 1 against Calgary. Edmonton won the next 4 games of the series. In fact, that Oilers team in 2022, as Ross Colton carries in, feeds Nick Roy for a shot, and he scores.
A tough one early on here in the second period. That comes in 1 minute and 24 seconds. Up period number 2. It gives the hometown lead 3-1. Shots right now have Minnesota has had 11, just 8 shots coming out the 6 of the Avalanche, but they got 3 goals on those shots. It only gets doesn't look like a good goal to me.
And another goal against. On the ice for Middleton and Spurgeon. Middleton had a back off because of the speed of Colton, then a pass to Waugh, and just a quick shot beat Gustafson clean. Petrie to loose puck for the Wild, drives one, that pinballed wide. Minnesota trying to dig it out in front, and Wedgwood's on top of it. Just got to get a save there.
Yeah, they do. That shot was blocked also. You can see that shot coming from the right side of Minnesota, and Ross Colton that got in front of him. Boy, he is in some discomfort as he goes over to his bench.
Okay, shaking his left glove, Tom. That one really hurt.
Not a lot of protection on those gloves.
Colton won the Stanley Cup with the Lightning in 2021. The year prior, Zach Bogosian won it with Tampa Bay. Then Bogosian went on to play 1 season with the Maple Leafs, came back to Tampa when they lost in 2022 in the final to the Avalanche. Drury a shot from the slot. Petrie knocked that away. Logan O'Connor cuts out with a backhander, stopped by Gustafson. Rebound not cleared. A shot by Blankenberg, missed high and wide. Avalanche buzzing here, leading 3-1 in Game 2, early stage of the second. Pass from the left wing boards, knife through the blue paint and wide.
Yeah, Minnesota's got to get that speed up that we saw in the first period.
O'Connor barrels back in, trying to turn Damon Hunt. Logan O'Connor around the net of Gustafson. Up high, a pass rolls all the way back down the ice. Shots are 11-9 Minnesota, but the Avs have a 3-1 lead. Wild from right to left on your radio dial in the second. Up ice pass by Colorado. They were in early. Natchez streaking ahead. And so this is a whistled down forecheck that never really amounted to much, and the officials will talk about where to put the face-off with 17:20 to go in the second period.
And the thing when you're playing a game like this, and when you're the visitors coming in playing against the hometown team, you've got to get some good saves from your goaltender. They really have to step up there and make some saves. And I'm not seeing that right now, unfortunately. But Minnesota's got to find a way to bounce back here. They're down by 2. You got plenty of time. Shots right now 11-9 in favor of the Wild, but they need to find a way to get some shots, quality shots to that net of the opposite end.
Third goal of the playoffs for Waugh at the overtime winner in Game 2 against the Kings, as the Avalanche eventually swept Los Angeles, their 6th ever sweep in franchise history. Holding it at the point is Taves, over to Makar. Makar across the blue line, a little stop-and-go move. Shot one that was blocked, came free for Taves in his bid. Rose high and wide with both Faber and Zuccarello trying to dive to block it. Back at center ice is McKinnon. Rink-wide pass, Taves rattles it in. Gustafson watches to his right. Hughes was wrapped up, but he emerged with the puck. Hughes fakes the pass and then laced it along Zuccarello. In onside, flicking one rink-wide. Ryan Hartman jabs it off the end glass. Kaprizov trying to hustle to it, followed up by Zuccarello. Puck squeezed free by Taves, however. And Valerie Nichushkin through center ice to Brock Nelson. He picked up a helper on that most recent goal. Nelson down below the Wild goal line. Zuccarello just blew a tire. Kaprizov steals in his D zone with Jake Middleton. Will bolt ahead. Kaprizov in onside. High slot. Now right circle. Fired one in front. It ricochets off a shin pad and out the center. It's rescued by Damon Hunt fresh off the Wild bench. Hunt twists behind the net of Gustafson. As we had 4 minutes expired time in the second. Now Nick Foligno. Foligno skates through center and fires it in. Marcus Foligno in on the forecheck. Avalanche cleared off the glass. Well kept by Petrie. Slashed it down low. Marcus Foligno protects in the corner. Points in back-to-back games of the playoffs for Marcus Foligno. Joining the scrum is Nico Sturm. Nick Foligno nearby supports as well. Marcus Foligno kicked it free. Now Nick Foligno back of the net. Coming out right side. Spun one to the back post. It'll roll all the way up to the left point for Damon Hunt to drill down low. Petrie to pinch in right side. Slashed along by the Avs. Kept in by Danila Urov. Urov muscled one to Hunt. Hunt a left wing shot. Caught and held by Wedgwood. As Marcus Foligno was trying to get net front position there against the veteran defenseman Brent Burns.
Yeah, just getting the shot from there, looking for some possible rebound or deflection coming in there. And you watch the players, even in the morning skate, practicing the deflections in front of their net and just have a great eye for finding the blade of that stick or the shaft of that stick. It's just a piece of it to change the direction enough where the goaltender can't handle it.
Good shift, though, Tom, by that line.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the thing is, that's the communication is so important, Joe. I mean, being down there with those three guys and they're talking, not just on the ice, but when they go to the bench and they talk about, here's what we could have done. And something a little bit differently. Let's try it next time and see where it goes.
By the way, Burns was a -3 in game one for the Avs in their 9-6 win as Boldy offensive zone off the one draw finds Hughes, who activates. Hughes left wing boards bottled up, so he swept it to the right point. Faber banked it off the end wall, looking for Johansson and Boldy, but Colorado gets to it. And Logan O'Connor played his collegiate days with the Denver Pioneers, skates it along for the Avs. The Wild slow down that rush. Another try here for Parker Kelly of the home side, pumps it deep in the Wild zone. Spun around by Urov. Faber took the check to get it to Boldy. Rink wide for the weak side defenseman Hughes. Quinn Hughes leading the rush. Checked nicely there by Jack Drury, and the Wild have to regroup at center. Johansson was bumped by O'Connor. And Colorado, good effort to sweep that puck in. Jared Spurgeon settles things down for the Wild. With the injury to Brodin, Spurgeon now stands alone atop the Wild postseason games played leaderboard. Him and Brodin had been tied coming in to that game 6 against Dallas where Brodin was unavailable. Natchez for the Avs. Spins and shakes. Tarasenko staying with him. Natchez right circle a shot. And that's held by Gustafson.
Yeah, just watching in front of that Minnesota net also. Just trying to move players out of the way. And that's what Middleton was doing. Actually chasing a player in behind the net just to make sure he can get back in front, take the eyes away from the goaltender. But right now the faceoff will be deep in the Minnesota zone to the left of Philip Gustafson.
McCarron, sorry, Tom, and McKinnon on this draw.
Yeah, that Natchez is so quick also. He's got the quick turns. He's got the good acceleration.
So reset and do the draw to the left of Gustafson. Nathan McKinnon played his 100th career Stanley Cup playoff game in game one of this series. Had the empty netter late. Now time for the 7th most Stanley Cup playoff goals ever in a player's first 100 postseason games. And the guys ahead of him, you'd imagine, hockey lore. Taves back as the Wild scaled it ahead. Natchez on the regroup, found McCarr. His pass off the mark. Icing coming on the Avs.
Well, everything Wild all in one place. Sign up to get team news, player updates, ticket information, game day details, and much more delivered straight to you. Stay connected at wild.com/stay connected. Faceoff is going to be deep in the Avs zone right now to the left of their goaltender, who hasn't been near as busy as Minnesota would like him to be. Trying to get a few more shots in that, but the shots right now are 12-10 in favor of the Wild.
Off the draw, McCarr slashed it ahead, and now it's whipped to center. Natchez watched by Hughes. Natchez right wing board, Shams on the brakes, squeeze it along. It's McCarr darting down low. McCarr centered, and that puck ricocheted around. Now Taves hammering one rink wide off the glass rather than shooting from a good area.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't shoot to the net. He had plenty of time.
Yeah, it's a Wild deflect the pass here that ends up in the stands. On game number 1, the Avalanche had 43 shots. The Wild Had a boatload as well to their credit. They finished with 36 shots. Hasn't been the same story shots-wise in Game 2, but the scoring is certainly on a similar pace. It is 3-1 Colorado, timeout on the ice. Still early in the second. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Got kicked out of the house again, Johnny. We lost in OT, and I threw the remote through the TV. There goes your bundle and our playoffs at home.
You've got Sirius XM, right? All the games, hometown announcers, right on the app.
You are useful. Turn it on.
Get every game of the NHL and NBA playoffs on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app. Every game, every team, and your hometown announcers all in one place.
But if you throw anything at my radio, you're walking.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Beauty machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it, there's a chance, rebound, Caulfield, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Face-off between the Minnesota zone to the right of Minnesota's netminder, Philip Gustafson. 3-1 lead for the Avs over Minnesota. Shots right now have Minnesota in the lead in that department, 12-10 on the other side. Minnesota's got to get some firepower going here.
Shot blocked by the Wild. It's lobbed ahead. Marcus Foligno chips in. Malinsky and he to the corner. Marcus Foligno, the first man there, got hit hard by Malinsky. Nico Sturm follows it up. Rifle one of the point, but that draws Spurgeon out the center. Spurgeon D-to-D for Jake Middleton, who swats it ahead. A tip in now by Nick Foligno. Then back in on the forecheck goes Marcus Foligno, this time against Kulak. Sturm supports right away, but the puck dug free by Malinsky. Shoved into Chushkin, who spun off the hit. And Malinsky leads Colorado ahead. Chopped it in past Spurgeon. Middleton there first. Trying to jab it free for his defense partner. Spurgeon along the glass right side. Battles again. Comes up with his puck. Feathered it back of his net. Middleton reaches out for it. And left wing side, he'll slide it back along the Spurgeon. Picks his head up and rattles it along. Grabbing it from there, Nick Foligno. Backhands it in. The Wild trying to hustle on a change. Avs quickly transitioning along. It's Kadri. Flinging it in. Nick Waugh, who just scored, goes in first on the forecheck. Petrie spun off that check. Kadri tried to roll it in front. Deflects along for Taves, who spun it back of the net. Nazem Kadri, little side angle backhander at the outside of the cage. Kadri to the point now. Burns chops it back down low. Getting to it for a moment, Urov. Met there immediately by Taves, who broke his stick on that collision. And now Petrie deep in Minnesota ice, stops, waits left side, and starts ahead. Avalanche is finishing a change. Marcus Johansson, a long shot. Off the rush, hit the mask of Wedgwood, and deflects out a play.
Well, Minnesota's going to keep on shooting that puck, no question about that. And the thing is, Minnesota does a nice job of coming out of their own zone defensively, and this got shot by Johansson right off the mask, as you call it, Joe, the netminder, and kind of look around, where did that come from?
He's going to go to the Avalanche bench, is Scott Wedgwood, and Donnie White, one of their equipment managers, takes a look at the mask.
Then one of the pieces, or something came off of it. Looks like maybe it was one of the protective shields that so it doesn't cut into the face.
And so a bit of a delay here as Wedgwood continues to get his mask worked on by the Avalanche bench with 12:06 to go in the second period. And the Wild trailing game 2-3-1.
Yeah, that's one of those situations you can't even worry about the scoreboard right now. Minnesota just has to worry about getting that next goal. I mean, that'll really help go a long way to bring them back into the fold here. But they're down by 2 right now. They've got to find a way to get that quick without giving up something here.
The Avalanche with those 9 goals in Game 1, a franchise record. They had scored 8 goals in a playoff game 3 times. 1996, 2002, and again in 2022. 2 of those years they won the Stanley Cup, where they had 8 goals in a playoff game. 7 skaters had multiple points in Game 1 for the Avalanche. The entire series, the Wild played against the Dallas Stars. Only 6 skaters had multiple points in the whole series. And the Avs had 7 rack up multiple points in Game 1. Hartman on the draw against McKinnon to the right of Wedgwood, who got his mask fixed or got his backup one on. Couldn't determine there what they ended up doing at the Avalanche bench. There was a long delay, though, from our usual standards.
Yeah, I think they fixed it, able to fix it right at the bench. That was a good thing for him.
And now Zuccarello takes the draw. Hartman thrown from the circle. Zuccarello muscled it along. To the left point, it comes Hughes. Hughes surveys. Pop-out play. Kaprizov a one-timer. Tipped and stopped by Wedgwood. Avalanche break it out left side and sling it ahead. This puck deflected, so no icing. Scurrying back is Hughes. Nate just wraps him up. Giveaway by the Wild on this breakout. Natchez firing one to the right point. Makar immediately across the blue line. Hughes was way out there to pressure him. Now McKinnon behind the Wild net. Comes out in the glove side of Gustafsson. Worked one up high. A hammered shot by Malinsky. Rifled wide. Makar to the carom. Now Malinsky shooting one. Gustafsson had a clang off him. Rebound off the glass to his left. Or it's chunked around the end boards. And Brock Faber's going to pick it up for the Wild and spike it ahead. We'll see if this defense pair switch sticks for the Avs and Jared Bednar, but that time it was Malinsky and Makar out there, not Taves and Makar. Minnesota steals at their own blue line. Darting ahead, Trenyon. A drop pass for Hughes. Left circle, Hughes shifting with it. Fired a shot that hit McCarron and never got through. McCarron now battles deep in the left wing corner. He pried it along, but Hughes was going for a change. So hustling over to keep in Spurgeon. He did. And it's McCarron now left side, deep in the Avalanche zone. Leaned on by Malinsky. McCarron able to protect this puck out of the left wing corner. Bounce it to the left point, Middleton. Hacks it rink wide. Spurgeon will activate. Spurgeon deep in the Avalanche zone. Fake the handoff there as he cuts around the net. Spurgeon out to Middleton for a drive, and it rose off of Lehkonen and caught the glass. Puck goes all the way back to center. McCarron whistles it to the left side. Middleton. Right back in on side comes Trenyon, finding Tarasenko for a quick shot. Wedgwood looked around, but he's got it. Up against the left part of his body.
Yeah, good shot by Tarasenko coming in there, also trying to get that quick release, which he did, but unfortunately for him, the goaltender able to capitalize that one. You look at Tarasenko, he's got 51 postseason goals in his career. And right now, in a 3-game point streak, he's got 3 points, 2 goals and assists in those last 3 games he's played.
Amongst active players, the 24th most playoff games for Vladimir Tarasenko. This is his 4th career playoff series against the Avs. Most recently, 2022 with the Blues.
Yeah, he's been in the playoffs 12 of his 14 seasons. He's been in the NHL.
Brock Nelson punches one in for the Avalanche. Out with his goal stick, Gustafsson served it to his left. It'll ricochet away from Burns and out to the neutral zone. Kulak picks it up and fires it back in. So it again appears the Avalanche have made a switch with their defense pairings as Johansson pops it along to Damon Hunt. Hunt carries the Wild ahead, chips it in, and goes in against Kulak, who kind of interfered with him a bit. Puck rolled around by the home side and out through center ice now is the Chushkin on one-on-one with Faber. Hunt came over and laid a heavy hit on the big Russian, and the Wild pick up this puck. Yurov trying to sneak free. Burns drills it the other way. Hustling back is Kaprizov because Nick Waz started in, dropped it off for a shot. Stopped by Gustafsson on that snapper from Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, Kadri just following up the play there, takes that pass right on his stick, a quick release, and there is Gus to make the save on that one.
9:45 to go, second period. We're halfway through regulation. Shots are 15-13 Minnesota, but the Wild trail game 2 in Denver 3-1. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Okay, kids, ever seen a BMO debit card disappear? It goes under my hat, and with a twirl of my wand, magic, it's gone.
Cool. Can you bring it back?
No. But I can lock it on my phone.
Okay, so what now?
Now I go to a BMO branch and get a new one printed instantly.
Sounds like BMO are the real magicians.
Well, yeah, when you put it like that. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
BMO.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
A Pentair scoreboard update, playoff style.
Wild and Avalanche the only game tonight, but last night the Hurricanes rallied to beat the Flyers.
They score! They score! It's over! Carolina, Taylor Hall wins it in overtime!
Canes get the victory, extend their series lead to 2-0 over the Flyers. The other game last night had the Golden Knights beating the Ducks 3-1. That kicks off their best-of-7 series. Golden Knights lead 1-0. Back to Joe and Tom.
Well, Joe, Minnesota needs some shots on net. They need some goals. Obviously, they're down by 2 right now with 9:45 to go here in period number 2. And the face-off deep in the Minnesota zone to the left of Gustafsson.
Avalanche scoring somewhat early in both periods so far in Game 2, and they've got a 3-1 lead. Sturm and Waugh on the draw. Now Waugh is thrown for the circle, so Kadri in to take it. He had a goal on 8 shots in Game 1, did Nazem Kadri. Avs reacquired him right before the trade deadline. He was here in 2022 when they won it all. Burns retrieves a loose puck, shuffled it ahead. Waugh looking for Ross Colton at center, broken up, and the Wild start in. Marcus Foligno with some room left side, a shot, sailed just wide. Spurgeon could not keep the blue line right wing wall. They'll take a heavy hit along the dasher then from Colton. Continue to battle. Does the Wild captain, moving it along for Sturm, who flew it in from center. Minnesota can't keep this puck in. Kadri over the offensive blue line. Lehkonen swung it right back. A long shot goes wide to the corner to the left of Gustafsson. It's gathered by Marcus Foligno, but a penalty call. It's a trip, and it's on the Wild.
So Minnesota will be shorthanded again. They've done a pretty good job of staying out of the box, but they are going to get the 2-minute call on this one.
Look, I know the Wild erased a 3-0 deficit in Game 1. This Avalanche team's playing way better hockey from a defensive standpoint. This is, in my opinion, with still 9:08 left in the second period, almost a must-kill for the Wild PK.
Yeah, I agree with you. Minnesota, that's been their nemesis all season long here, is that penalty killing.
Only saving grace here is that Hartman doesn't kill penalties. Boldy will come out to take the draw. Excuse me, McCarron's going to take the draw. Boldy's going to go to his left. Hunt and Faber are the defensemen. Yeah, no Zach Bogosian for the Wild. He kills penalties. No Jonas Brodin, of course, again. Big part of the PK. And no Jules Erikssonek, and you miss him in so many ways. Wild win the faceoff. Hunt lasers it down for the left wing corner. Under 9 minutes to go in the second period. Starting at is Makar. Swung back for Natchez. Natchez hooks and finds McKinnon. Barrels over the blue line. Hands it off to Makar, who waits. And then feeds it off the boards, picking it up Kadri. Tucked back to the right point for Makar, who's pressured by Boldy. Cale Makar to Nazem Kadri, right circle. Now a goal line pass, Landeskog. Back to Kadri, across. McKinnon shot blocked. It came free. Side of the net. Dancing with it and turning it up high then was Natchez. Eventually to Makar. Makar skates to the top of the left circle. Took a shot. That tip just wide. It will skip up. Not out. Kadri held in. Again to Makar. Now Kadri, right circle. Goal line pass Landeskog. Quick centering feed for McKinnon. Batted away. McCarron uses right glove to swat at it. But again, the Avs hold in. Makar right through the high slot. Off for a drive. Good save, Gustafsson. On the one-timer for McKinnon. As he got it with the upper half of his body, pushing from his left to his right. Avalanche showing some tired penalty killers out here for Minnesota. They hold in again. It's McKinnon to Makar. Now right circle, Kadri just above the dot. Goal line pass, Landeskog. Fed back to Kadri. Takes a look. Saucer pass Makar. Top of the left circle, down low. A jab. Not much there for McKinnon. McCarron right side won the battle and shoves it down.
Minnesota just making that square right in front of their own netminder, and they're doing a good job so far. And right now, your goaltender has got to stop this puck.
Both teams changed. That was almost 90 seconds in the D zone for that 4-man penalty kill unit. Avalanche re-attack. Lehkonen's pass tip. Nico Sturm gathers. Remember, the Wild had a shorthanded goal in Game 1 and 2 in the regular season against the Avalanche in 4 meetings. One of them scored by Sturm. As Jake Middleton slides one along, Taves is back to pick it up. Dying second to the Hartman minor. Looks like the Wild will get out of the woods. Just over 7 minutes to go in the second. Folding into Chushkin. Chushkin tried to slide in front with a shot. That never got free. It's cranked all the way down by the Wild. Gloved as it came on net. Wedgwood just hangs on as Hartman's out of the box, and he was bearing in forcing Wedgwood to get a whistle.
Yeah, and the coach talked about Hartman this morning at the media scrum there, saying like how he's kept his cool pretty well throughout the playoffs, but every once in a while he gets close to that line but hasn't gone over to this point, which is a good thing for Minnesota. We don't need needless penalties, and right now the faceoff is going to be deep in the Colorado zone left of their goaltender. With 7:01 remaining here in period number 2, still 3-1 lead for the Avalanche.
Hartman won the draw. Set play off the faceoff allows Kaprizov to streak in right side around the net of Wedgwood. Kaprizov to the back post, and it pinballed around, and it's gathered by Nelson. Chopped off the board. Hughes pinched in. Hartman got hit up high. No penalty. Hartman lost his stick. Play continues. He'll pick it up now at the left circle as the Wild try and hold in here. Loose puck battle deep in Colorado ice. It swung up high for Faber. Faber stopped, lost his footing, got the puck somehow to Zuccarello. Zuccarello at center point. Fresh help coming off the bench. It's Middleton. Swept along Kaprizov right circle. Kaprizov at center point fired one, came off the end wall, jabbing at it Hartman. Wedgwood's on top of it. And he wasn't really. The puck's loose side of the net, but the whistle halts play. 6:23 to go in the second.
Yeah, and Hartman right in the middle of it once again, right by that net area, and takes a couple of hits here. And so often, because he's got that reputation, they let it go. They don't call the penalties.
I mean, that's interference. The puck's not there. And Nelson comes up and catches him right in the chin with two gloves. One more look at it here, Tom. Puck's not there.
You're right, it's not. Unfortunately, you saw it, but they didn't.
It's a bang-bang play, right? And so tough at full speed, I'm sure, but Wild would have loved the call there. An offensive zone draw still for Minnesota. McCarron wins it. Right point, Spurgeon walks in, loads, fires a drive, and ricochet back to the corner. Spurgeon hustles it down low on the cycle, looking for Tarasenko. Jack Drury stole it for the Avs, couldn't clear. Another try for Drury, had it swept loose by the Minnesota forecheck. Now Burns off his end glass. Middleton to crash down along the boards. Jabbing at it a couple of times are the Avs. Good job by Trenyon and Middleton to keep it alive. Now Trenyon trying to center. It's sliced free, and the Avs relieve some pressure, clearing to the neutral zone. Hustling to loose puck, Parker Kelly. Kelly taps in. He and Middleton wrap each other up. Now Logan O'Connor for Colorado. Banks it off the back of the Wild net. Drury got it to the point. Kulak just swings it back around the Wild cage. Trenyon initiated contact, worked it free. Tarasenko pops it to center. 5.5 minutes left, second period. Wild down 3-1 in game 2. They'd love to get one before intermission, as this will be an icing call coming on the Wild as Middleton swats one around his end boards and it goes down the ice.
Now, one of those draws, especially in your own defensive zone, we talk about it all the time, is going to be important for Minnesota here right now. It's just a little over 5 minutes to go here in period number 2. Shots are pretty even, all 16-15 now in favor of the home team.
Mentioned this back in game 1, but in the regular season series, the Avs had shot totals of 41, 42, 47, and 36. And then in game 1, they had a whopping 43 shots on goal. They led the NHL in shots on goal per game in the regular season. They led in goals scored, and they gave up the fewest goals across the NHL. Tarasenko, right wing boards for Minnesota, chunked this puck out to the neutral zone. It's grabbed by Trenyon, freed up for McCarron, who fires it in from long range. Wedgwood knocks it down. A quick up ice pass. McKinnon with a shot, looking for a rebound. Gustafson knocked it to the corner. It's a good unselfish shot there, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's times, so many times you see a player take a shot, but he wants to make that pass across. The mentality is right there, but you get those opportunities, they don't come often, so you have to take the shots when you get them.
Makar forced along by first Johansson, then Boldy. Loose puck here, Avs keep in for a moment. McKinnon lost it, and Boldy trickles it ahead. This will be an icing call. I mean, Makar stopped skating for the puck. Yeah. Or he would have gotten there before the goal line, in my estimation.
He may have.
And Matt Boldy is not happy about it. He skates nearby one of the linesmen and then does the courteous thing, flipping the puck to him so they can drop it properly.
At least he didn't shoot it hard.
So Yurov and Kadri on the draw to the right of Gustafson. Big face-off here for the young Russian, Danila Yurov. Kadri thrown from the circle, or at least asked to reset. Linesman instructing Kadri to slide to his left a bit, where his skates are positioned there at those hash marks. Wild pick up this puck off the draw. Hughes squeezed it to his right. Urov races to it. Muscled past a bit of trouble. Then took a heavy hit. As the Wild control with Hughes. Got it out the center. It's jabbed right back in by the Avs. So Hughes on the reset. Spins to his left. Knuckled it along. Johansson tipped it ahead. Boldy has a lane left circle. Fired a shot. Blocked wide by Burns. Boy, Boldy, one too many stick handles there. Yeah. And the shot was blocked.
I agree. A little hesitation. Thought he could get a little bit closer.
Hartman now fires one from a tough angle. Broken up by the Avalanche and sent to center. Under 4 minutes to go in period 2. The only goal of this frame came 84 seconds in. Nick Waugh through the slot. Beat Gustafsson stick side. And deficit of 2 in game 2 for Minnesota. Hunt hit hard back of his net. Rolled it around left side. Zuccarello took a look over his shoulder. Played it out through center ice looking for Kaprizov. That's stolen. Hunt gets it back for the Wild. And again, Zuccarello at the red line. This time just chips it in. Ryan Hartman is there. Tried to center. Landeskog cut it off. Battling for it again, Hartman. Ripped it around the boards. Jeff Petrie to pinch in. Popped it back in the net looking for Kaprizov, who has the Wild goal. His third of the playoffs. That came 6 seconds after the Avalanche scored early in the first. Wild stealing the forecheck. Up high, Zuccarello. A shot. Wedgwood with a big rebound, but it's rescued by the Avs. And played out the center ice. Landeskog just threw Zuccarello down. As the Wild start up ice, Nico Sturm right wing boards. Dropped it off Kaprizov. Kaprizov right circle. Pivots from the goal line, kind of fanned on it. Makar battles with him. And Makar's able to stab it free. Nichushkin couldn't clear. Kaprizov played up to the point, though. And only Brock Nelson there for Colorado will take over. Hit the red line and fire it in. Gustafsson out with his goal stick. Flings it to Hughes. Who crisscrosses with Nick Foligno. Back of his own net, Hughes. A quick right wing offering. Brock Faber carries the Wild ahead. Faber left it back for Marcus Foligno. Foligno spins. Lobbed it back down low. Faber kept it coming around the net. Nick Foligno pushed off the puck. Marcus Foligno then drilled Logan O'Connor as the Avs get it to center. Blankenberg at the red line soars it in to the left of Gustafsson. Jack Drury back for it. Centered. It ricochets around. And Hughes will find it and twist out to the neutral zone. And then spin one blindly that's intercepted. Hughes battles to at least get the puck back to the neutral zone. Both teams look to change. 2:05 to go in the second.
Yeah, this for Minnesota. They can really do a good push here at the end of this period coming up.
Hughes left side surveys. Remember, the Avs trailed for under 3.5 minutes in their entire first-round sweep of the Kings. In Game 1, they didn't trail for long. After Foligno's shorty, the Avs got it right back on a goal by Taves. Colorado has been front-running for most of this one. Middleton back for a loose puck to the right of Gustafsson. Nifty move to shake away from Lehkonen for a moment. Those two continue to battle now. Middleton ended up on his backside as McCarron digs it free, a 3-on-3 rush. Tarasenko flips to center. Sweeping for it was McCarron, battling with Makar. McCarron came up with it, fired one down low. A drive by Trenyon, ricocheted back to him. He'll look for Middleton through the slot, passes and escapes. And the Avalanche poke it ahead. Well played by Spurgeon at center. And he'll find this puck now bouncing his way inside the Wild blue line. D-to-D for Middleton, up for McCarron. Charges in left wing wall and swung it down low in the final 65 seconds. A blind centering pass by Boldy, came up top. With it is Damon Hunt around the net of Wedgwood. Hunt feeds Petrie. Petrie's got a man off the bench. A drive by Urov, whistled wide on a one-timer from the right circle. Petrie holds in. Couldn't get as deep into the offensive zone as he would have liked. And now Sam Malinsky carves it along for Colorado. Icing waved off.
Yeah, Petrie, a right-handed shot also. He was on the left side there, had to go to the backhand.
40 seconds to go in the period. Damon Hunt lugs it ahead, rifles it in from the red line. Trying to scurry to it, Boldy. Kulak was there first. Boldy took it away for a moment. Now Urov feeds the right point. Faber, a hurried shot. Tipped down in front. Wedgwood looking for it, and he's got it with Boldy trying to pry it home. And then Taves sort of spears Boldy on a scrum in front.
It doesn't appear there's going to be any penalties on that play, but Minnesota doing a good job getting the puck to the front of the net. Oh. Did not see that?
I mean, it was Taves taking his stick blade and going right to the legs first of Boldy, and then poked him in the crest of his jersey.
I can see it from here, and they're a lot closer. They should be able to see it even better. Well, maybe not.
27.3 seconds left in the second period. Offensive zone draw for the Wild to the left of Wedgwood. Hartman's on it for Minnesota against Nelson. Nelson guides it back. Taves sails it to neutral ice. Faber reached up to get a piece of it. Nichushkin bottles him up. Now it's Hughes with 17 ticks to go. Hughes skates to his left. curls back. Tries to get away from Landeskog. Couldn't. Gustafsson out with his goal stick. Freed it up for Faber. 8 to go in the period. Faber deep in his own zone for Minnesota. Works to his right. Fed it back to Hughes. Hughes swings it to Hartman, and the second period's going to end. So a 2-goal lead for Colorado after 40 in Game 2. And again, when a home team, in this case the Avs, take a 2-0 series lead in a best-of-7, they advance 88% of the time. Should point out, though, both times the Wild have bested the Avalanche in a playoff series. Both of those series they've trailed at some point by 2 games, including the 2003 3-1 deficit they erased and eventually moved on to the conference final, the only time in franchise history. Second intermission upon us. Tom Reed's hotline comes your way. Get those questions into 64686. Nick Wild, the tally for the Avs. And the Wild down 3-1 after 40 in Game 2. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by Grand Casino.
As the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Wild, Pentair helps the world sustainably move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great tasting filtered water straight from the kitchen faucet to water supply and sump pumps and everything in between, Pentair is focused on smart, sustainable water solutions that help our planet and people thrive. Visit Pentair.com to learn more. That's Pentair.com.
At CHS, we know what it takes to feed and fuel the world, to integrate a global ag and energy supply chain, to advocate for farmers in their fields and around the world, to build communities, invest in rural America, and empower rural economies. It takes courage, conviction, commitment. It takes the nation's leading farmer-owned cooperative. It takes a co-op. It takes CHS.
The PGA Tour is back in Minnesota for its Northern Swing. The 3M Open returns to TPC Twin Cities in Blaine July 20th through July 26th. Come to the 3M Open to see some of the best golfers in the world compete. Big drives, big shots, big putts with big stakes. Be a part of golf's Northern Swing at the 3M Open. Purchase tickets today at 3mopen.com. That's the number 3, the letter M, open.com. That's 3mopen.com.
PGA Championship is coming, and you can hear it on Sirius XM.
Feeding down toward the cup. He made it! He made it!
Can Rory McIlroy win his second consecutive major?
I think Scotty's just been sort of head and shoulders above the rest of us. But yeah, this does my confidence the world of good.
Or will defending champion Scotty Scheffler win his first major of the season?
Scotty Scheffler is a PGA champion.
PGA Tour Radio is previewing the PGA Championship on Channel 92 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern Munich machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day and the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more, covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
The best hockey lives here.
Barnes gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound. Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
No, I don't think it has any effect at all. None of the teams. In fact, if you remember when the Rockies first came in to the league, they used to have oxygen on the bench. The guys saying, oh, we're really winded. We need some oxygen, and they used to have it. Now nobody has it. Now what happened to it? It didn't change. I don't think the atmosphere changed at all. But I don't think that's an effect at all. I think the guys are in very good shape that won't bother them.
Angie in Blaine says, that's it. I'm taking a tequila shot. This game is stressing me out. I'm with you, Angie. Probably not while we're on the air, though. Yeah, right? Matt in Minneapolis. Tom, where's the momentum from game one? The Wild seem to be a little lackluster here, but how much of that is on the Avalanche defense, which seems to be doing a pretty good job of keeping the Wild at arm's length?
You got to remember one thing. Who won the President's Trophy this year is the best team in the league.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yes, they are a good hockey club. There's no question. They've got speed, especially in that neutralized area. But the speed they have, not just from the forwards, but their defense is so good at moving the puck and moving it up ice. You got guys back there that move it so quickly, and Minnesota just doesn't have that at this point. Minnesota's made some big improvements over the last year. There's no question they had a terrific year, but the Avalanche are still number one, and they're a pretty healthy team also. And Minnesota has to do the best they can do and try and get more quality shots, not just shots, but quality shots to that net.
From the 612 area code, Tom, what's going on with the penalty kill? Feels like they're not challenging, they're just kind of standing around.
Well, that's pretty evident because they were not very good all season long when it came to the penalty kill. But Minnesota's got to find a way to rectify a few things, and certainly your special team is one of them. They need to get some power play goals. They need to get some help on that penalty kill, and a lot of that, especially on the PK, is usually on the goaltender.
From page back up here from the 218 area code, Wild goaltender Philip Gustafson, Tom, has he looked ready? It's been a long time in between starts for him, the end of the regular season, and now he's in the second game of this second round. Watched Jesper Wallstedt for a long time. Do you think Gustafson looked game ready?
He looks nervous. In my own mind, I think he looks nervous. I know he wants to play. He wants to win. I mean, Gus has some good games for Minnesota during the course of the year. In fact, if you look at the record with Gus and with Wally, those two guys, if one was faltering, the other guy was picking it up and made some great plays, and vice versa, and the other part of that too. I mean, they really have supported each other. But I don't think any time during the whole season were they both playing poorly. I thought one would play okay and the other not so good, and then it just kind of reversed back and forth. And I think that was a big plus for their success this year.
From the 763 area code, Tom, when you're playing a team that's fast like the Colorado Avalanche, how do you slow them down?
A rope, if you can get one. They're hard. There's no question. And it starts at the back end. I mean, I know they've got some talented players in the front end, starting with McKinnon, but on that back end, they move the puck so well out of their own defensive zone, and they're skilled players who really have a lot of support in each other and really kind of read off of each other. Just like we watched with Quinn Hughes, and when he wants to move that puck, who's he mostly looking with right now? Probably Brock Faber. Those two guys really seem to help each other be better hockey players because of what they bring to the table.
Here's an interesting one to help lighten the mood a little bit. Richard in Mesa, Arizona. Tom, who's the better number 7? Neil Broughton or Brock Faber?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going with the defense. I have to go with the defense. There's no question. Brock Faber he's certainly a player for the Houston. Now, Neil Broughton was one heck of a player, and he's got the gold medal around his check from around his neck, I should say, from 1980. Of course, he was a terrific player, terrific guy also, and fun to be around. But I have to go on the defense side. The skill of the player today is so much stronger than it was 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago. It really has changed.
It's another one of those questions where there really isn't a wrong answer. If you would have said Neil Broughton, I would have nodded my head just the same as I nodded it when you said Brock Faber.
Yeah, good point.
From the 763 area code, Tom, Jake Middleton has had a rough little stretch here. What do you think about moving Damon Hunt up and pairing him with Jared Spurgeon?
Well, that may be a possibility. I mean, those are decisions that they have to make on the bench, and it isn't just on the head coach that's making those decisions. Jack Capilano also is another guy who works with the defense, and he can certainly make those suggestions to the coach and see if it works. And you try different things. If it's not working for you the way it is, you have to make changes.
From the 651 area code, this texter wants to know, what was Brent Burns like when you were a defensive partner with him back in the day? He's old, but he's not quite of that ilk. He broke into the league in 2003 when the Wild drafted him, so he's been around the block, but not quite back to the 60s and 70s.
No, you're right. But boy, I remember his first game he played was a preseason game in Montreal, and he was by far the best player on the ice between Montreal and Minnesota. But he's had a wonderful career, no question. 22nd year in the NHL, but he's one of the players that have never won the cup, and he's had so many opportunities, to trying to make something happen, but it hasn't worked for him yet. He's on a team right now that he may get that shot. But when you think of Brent Burns and never getting a cup, how about Patrick Marleau didn't get one? Joe Thornton didn't have one. Ryan Suter didn't get one. Phil Housey didn't get one. Marcel Dion didn't get one. There's some top-end players that I just named that certainly did not have a chance or did never won the Stanley Cup.
Here's a stat for you. Hopefully this is the reverse jink as we end the hotline. Avalanche this season, including playoffs, 44-0-0 when leading after 2 periods. So hopefully the Wild have something in the tank here in that third period to end that and get back to even here on this best-of-7 series.
Well, I would agree with that. Hopefully they have something here coming in the third period. But they you know what? They got to get the legs moving again like they were in the first period.
All right, Thomas, thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Reed out there at Ball Arena with Tom Reed's Hotline. Wild trail the Avalanche 3-1 after 2 periods of play. Someone's going to get a text, and with that will come a gift certificate down to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. Viewing party on Saturday for Game 3. If you don't have tickets, come on down to that. It's free. It's open to the public. Plus, use that gift certificate down to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. That place should be hopping as well during the entire contest. Wild got to get through Game 2, though, and make up some ground in that third period. We'll give you a recap of the first 40 minutes next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
SiriusXM brings you the most live sports.
Alex below, Ford Carlights goes below the white line.
This month, hear every MLB game.
A sonic boom! Braves win it!
The NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs with your hometown announcers.
Wembanyama reverse jam!
The PGA Championship, the Indy 500, the NASCAR All-Star Race, and so much more. Find your sport. Go to SiriusXM.com/sports or search on the SiriusXM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The flying beauty machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day and the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Kaprizov's third of the postseason from Hartman and Zuccarello, the Wild's only offense at this point. 6 seconds after Necas made a one-rip, Kaprizov ties it. Landeskog puts him back on top on the power play, middle of the first, and then Waugh scores early in the second. That's where we sit after 40 minutes of play. Avalanche 3, Wild 1. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Hockey lives here.
With a shot turned out in front wide by Aho. He swings a wraparound.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
With stops 19 thus far, 13 saves for Philip Gustafson. The Avalanche are 1 for 2 on the power play. The Wild are 0 for 1. The third is next in Game 2. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Hey, why are you bowling wrapped in a blanket?
Oh, this? It's my Securian blanket. It's an unsubtle metaphor for the confidence I feel knowing I have smart insurance and retirement solutions from Securian Financial.
Okay, but what are you going to do about that 7-10 split?
I've got it covered.
Wrap yourself in the feeling of confidence. Learn more at Securian.com. Insurance issued by subsidiary companies. Securian Financial Services. Member FINRA.
Take the leap. Make a splash. You want to keep up with your granddaughter. After all, she keeps you young. And a sore knee, back, or shoulder doesn't have to take that away. At TRIA, our physical therapists will help you treat whatever's holding you back. We use the latest therapy techniques and equipment to decrease pain and accelerate healing. With TRIA by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit TRIA.com to make an appointment.
Know what happy is? Veggies. Crunchy, crispy, colorful, seasonal, aromatic, juicy veggies. Produce at its freshest. Cub produce. Best produce, period. Guaranteed to make you happy or we'll replace it. No questions asked. Because good produce makes veggie lovers happy. Just remember, fresh, happy. Stale, limp, and wilted, not happy. You want to make a veggie lover happy? Shop Cub for produce. And shop happy.
Xcel Energy's Home Energy Squad experts love helping you save energy. It makes their day to weather strip a door. Setting up a new smart thermostat is real high-five material. They have dreams about upgrading your light bulbs to LEDs. And installing a more efficient shower head is actually one of their love languages. Let the experts who love to help you save energy help you save money. Appointments are now free at excelenergy.com/squad with free installation of eligible energy-saving equipment.
The PGA Tour is back in Minnesota for its Northern Swing. The 3M Open returns to TPC Twin Cities in Blaine, July 20th through July 26th. Come to the 3M Open to see some of the best golfers in the world compete. Big drives, big shots, big putts with big stakes. Be a part of golf's Northern Swing at the 3M Open. Purchase tickets today at 3mopen.com. That's the number 3, the letter M, open.com. That's 3mopen.com.
Did you know you could earn up to $600 when you open a checking account at Old National Bank?
$600? You could do a lot with that. Like tickets to somewhere warm?
Now boarding for Miami.
Or tickets to your favorite band?
Or tickets to your favorite band in Miami.
Boom! Now you're talking.
Earn up to a $600 bonus when you open an eligible checking account and complete qualifying activities. Additional restrictions apply. Visit oldnational.com/checking. Offer valid through June 30th, 2026. Member FDIC.
Third period, game 2. The Wild need 2 to tie, trailing the Avs 3-1. Joe O'Donnell, Tom Reed with you. Wild from left to right on your radio dial. Avs skating from right to left in the third. All right, Tom, it's got to be one at a time, both shift and then goals, but the Wild have some work to do.
Yeah, they certainly do. And if you look at the first period, the Avs scored their first goal at 2:51 in the first period, and the second period, they scored at 1:24. So they're getting those quick goals early on. In Minnesota, that's what they got to guard against right now. They got to be set to go as soon as that puck is dropped, which it already has been.
It is the Hartman, Zuccarello, Kaprizov line, Faber and Hughes for Minnesota. Hughes and Faber playing just over 18 minutes apiece through 2 periods. As Taves slides it to Makar, those two reunited here. A near steal by Kaprizov. He does take over and bolts ahead. Whips it to Hartman. There was a touch behind him. We'll just deflect it in. Where he's wrapped up by Taves. They go to the corner. Now it's Makar feeding it to Arturi Lehkonen. Lehkonen got a goal and assist and was +4 in game one. Shovels it in. Both teams change. Shots 20-16 Minnesota. Hughes carries ahead. Rifled a pass that was tipped in by Urov. Scurrying to it, Boldy. Boldy right side. Try to shovel it down low. It's blocked. Boldy kept in and was able to pry it to the right of Wedgwood. Malinsky overskated for a moment. He'll regather and go D-to-D for Kulak. Spurgeon pinched in on a pass. The wild steal. Urov through the high slot. Down low, Boldy. Whiffed on a one-timer. Jammed him a bit. Labeled along by the ass. Johansson gets to it. He's checked immediately. And Colorado just chisels one down. Icing here on the Avalanche. That was a very aggressive offensive zone sequence. Defensemen pinching, trying to win some of those puck battles, TR.
Yeah, and you look at Minnesota right now, they've got to win these battles. I mean, they're behind by 2 goals right now. They need 3 goals to win this game. And so they've got to get the shots. They've got to get the puck out of their own zone and making sure that they have the puck going north most of this third period.
You're a Wild fan, most likely are tuned into this broadcast. You don't want the stat on the Avs when leading after 40 minutes between the regular season and the playoffs. So we'll just let that one lay there. It's Kulak skies ahead, just over the outstretched and jumping Quinn Hughes. Nichushkin and Faber back to the right of Gustafsson. And now Hughes around his end boards. Faber couldn't come up with it. Kadri smashed along the glass by Trenyon, the league leader in hits in the regular season. As Blankenberg flutters one in, it's caught by Gustafsson.
Yeah, Trenyon with 412 hits, I believe, during the regular season, and they've done a pretty good job also in the playoffs of this year. 31 hits coming into this hockey game. Got that big body.
McCarron on the faceoff for Minnesota. He had a helper in game one. Won just under 53% of the draws against Dallas in that 6-game series. Spurgeon up ice for Trenyon here. Following it up, McCarron swept one in front. Open with a backhander was Tarasenko, but Wedgwood deep in his goal mouth made the save.
Yeah, that was so close. Tarasenko come in from the left side there and just got a piece of it, but deflected right into the netminder who hangs on to it. And Wedgwood able to hold that one long enough to get the face coming to his right now, but a good opportunity in Minnesota, but there's no rebound coming off of the goalie.
So Tarasenko, outer skate blade, deflecting that pass right to his tape, but he was in so tight he couldn't make a deft move like he made in game one to shake around Wedgwood, just had to flip it on net.
Yeah, and he's a guy who can put the puck in net. We've talked about that before, the fact that he's done pretty well when it comes to playoff competition. He's got 3 points in the 3 games he has played so far in this series round.
Same line stays out for the Wild, although Kaprizov now replaces Trenyon. Tarasenko over the right shoulder, McCarron looking for a pullback and a shot here. McCarron won the draw, but now he's going to be thrown from the circle as they blow the play dead. So now you don't have another center out there, of course. And we'll see who takes it for Minnesota, if it's Kaprizov or Tarasenko. And Kaprizov will take the initiative here. McCarron slides to his left. Avalanche defense pair with Kulak and Burns. Rem Burns moves into a tie for 132nd all-time in Stanley Cup playoff games played with this game tonight. One of those guys he's tied with, Bill Guerin, Minnesota Wild GM and President of Hockey Operations. Here's McCarron out of his own zone. Banks it along. Chris Chelios, the all-time leader in Stanley Cup playoff games played across league history. Hughes, left wing side in Minnesota ice, spins and knuckles it along where Faber hooks it ahead. Tarasenko in a 3-on-3. Picks up the pace. Slid a pass looking for McCarron, who jabs at it. Buck Taves got off a shot that was kicked off by the right pad of Wedgwood. Wild hold the line. Middleton rims it around the boards. Spurgeon pinches in to deal with Lehkonen. Spurgeon chops at it, grabbing at Trenyon. Trenyon tried to center at the skates of Nathan McKinnon. Trenyon got back on it, swung it up high, but Logan O'Connor steals and uses glass to clear it ahead. So Wedgwood, much like game one, making some big saves as this contest has moved along, Tom.
Yeah, and they already make those saves. Also gives this team a lot more confidence. It takes away some of the confidence of Minnesota.
He gave up just 5 goals in the 4-game sweep of the Kings. Wild beat him 6 times in game one. Beat him early in game 2. Nothing since for Minnesota. Nate is it onside. Drops it McKinnon. McKinnon curls. Left wing wall. Wild trying to sort it out. So McKinnon just flops to the corner. Puck play with a high stick, they say, by Blankenberg. It
was pretty close.
Yeah. Probably not the right call, at least looking at it live, but the Wild will take this whistle and get a chance to change the lines.
Well, the referee is within 8 feet of that call, so he was down there. That's Chris Rooney and also Graham Skillett there, the two referees of this hockey game. Matt McPherson and Julian Fournier, the two linesmen.
Off the face-off, the Wild have it with Petrie, who was scratched in Game 1. In Game 6 against the Stars, played just over 7 minutes as he'll gallop to a loose puck here. Slip it deeper into the Avalanche zone. Petrie now keeps in a few feet inside the blue line, rattles it back of the net. Kaprizov and Makar battle there. Kaprizov trying to shake free. Tipped it loose, Zuccarello waits and flicks one just wide. Petrie will gallop to it, right wing corner offensive end. Sprung it around Kaprizov. Again, chased by Makar. Kaprizov turning, shooting, and that's blocked to the corner. Again, Petrie to try and charge to it with Landeskog looking to jab it out. About 4 minutes now played in the third. Wild down 3-1 in Game 2. They've had the better of the play so far in the third. Right point Kaprizov, a long shot, knocked down in front by Malinsky. Sweeping at it, Hartman couldn't get it through to the front of the nets. And Malinsky will gather and chip to center.
Well, Minnesota's pushing as hard as they possibly can right now, but they're not getting the puck behind the goalie.
Hughes to Zuccarello, back in onside, right wing boards. His centering pass, batted away initially. Kaprizov scurries to it, works it around. Hughes, right side. Hughes, a little stop and go move, shut down by Nelson, penalty call. The Wild are going to get a power play early in the third. Nelson's going to go to the box for tripping. His second minor.
Yep, the fans aren't happy, but
the elusiveness of Hughes there. And Nelson used his right skate to knock out the right leg of Hughes, much to the chagrin of some folks in press row and the fans here.
Yeah, 4:20 being the time of this penalty right now. This is a huge undertaking for Minnesota right now. They're getting a goal here would certainly elevate the enthusiasm we'd see with this club.
Their first power play opportunity back in the opening period. Had some good looks when Nelson went off for holding. 6 power play shots for the Wild on that man advantage. And now Boldy's thrown from the draw. 4:20 played in the third. 3-1 the deficit for the Wild in Game 2. Hartman in to take the face-off, couldn't win it. Burns leaned on by Boldy, couldn't clear. Hartman held in. He'll rip it rink wide, trying to gallop to a Kaprizov. Boldy's there first. Boldy spins, hands it up top Hughes. Hughes at center point, skates to his left, dished it back to Boldy. Boldy takes a look, slaps it back to Hughes. Back to Boldy, set up for a one-timer. Was flubbed to the corner. Kaprizov gathers the reset for Boldy. Boldy fakes a shot, cuts through the high slot. Works his way left wing side, kicked it back to Hughes. Quinn Hughes pivots, fronts the play. Sent it back to Boldy, who waits, fires. Glove save, Wedgwood.
Yeah, you can see that one coming all the way. Nobody in front of him take his eyes off the puck, so he followed that one through with a quick left glove of his, grabs onto it, takes a swig of water from that water bottle, and that'll bring the face-off to his right.
Boldy trying to pick a corner there around the traffic of Burns and Hartman and get it to go glove side. Might have been going wide. Wedgwood taking no chances, of course. Snatched it out of midair. Boldy had 3 shots in Game 1. 5-game point streak coming in, as I mentioned earlier, as Colorado wins the face-off and Burns blasts it down. Gustafson sets it up on a tee for Hughes from left to right on your radio dial. Hughes, a long stretch pass, in onside Hartman. Hartman spinning with Taves pressuring him, and Taves knocked him down. Drop pass, Zuccarello, a shot shouldered away by Wedgwood. Great pass by Hughes to stretch in Hartman there. Hughes to keep the line now at the right wing hash marks. Kaprizov was slashed. Penalty, a hand pass. Hand pass on the Wild, and a stick-swinging battle. Zuccarello and Burns continue to chop away at each other. And Kaprizov's hobbled by the slasher cross-check he took along the dasher right prior to the hand pass. I thought there was a call coming.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought there was a call coming. There is.
Boy, it was Burns.
Yeah, there's a big body and a lot of weight behind that slash also.
Zuccarello, Tom, on that earlier sequence, Zuccarello was in the high slot. I looked, and he was getting up off the ice. I think Burns had sent him down, and so Zuccarello a little bothered by that previous sequence.
Very possible.
Now Hartman shoves Jack Drury after the puck wasn't dropped by the linesman. Things getting spicy here. Certainly some frustration from a Minnesota standpoint. Their power play is halfway home. Kaprizov, Boldy, Zuccarello, Hartman, and Hughes remain out there. Usually the second unit would come out halfway through about this juncture, but the Wild need 2 to tie here. Boldy in on side to Kaprizov. Muscled it back to the blue line for Hughes, who curls away from Parker Kelly. Hughes dealt it to the left circle. Zuccarello in with a shot that hit Hartman, deflected high and wide. Hartman to the rebound. Left circle along the hash mark, Zuccarello. Now top of the circle, goal line pass Hartman. As Kaprizov at the back post, found him, and Wedgwood made the save. Huge stop there, Wedgwood, and more rough stuff after the whistle. And we're going to have some penalties here, I'd imagine.
I would think that would happen now.
Oh, Boldy just got drilled and dropped well after the whistle, and the scrum had started to dissipate. It was Parker Kelly that decked him. Hartman lost his helmet in the scrum, and I don't know if we're going to have any calls at all. But what a left pad stop by Wedgwood on Kaprizov, uncontested the back post. Hartman came in with both arms outstretched. Lehkonen grabbed him. Right glove by Boldy to Parker Kelly's face. Kelly caught the linesman with a stiff jab on accident. And no penalties for either team.
You know, it's a little bit ugly right now, and this is where you wonder if the referees are going to let them go and play the game the way they want to play, which that's fine with Minnesota, I'm sure of that.
On the road in his playoff career, Kaprizov, 10 goals and 10 assists in 17 games. That was coming into tonight. So now 21 points in 18 road games, including his tally early in this hockey game, but he could have pulled the Wild within one right there. He was robbed by Wedgwood. Tom, and Drury on the draw.
Well, goaltending gives you a lot of confidence in your game right now, and Wedgwood is doing that for his team.
Tarasenko and Johansson also out here dying seconds of the power play off the draw. Faber comes up with the puck, got it to the left side. Spurgeon a drive, shouldered away by Wedgwood. McCarron to the rebound. Starting to feel like the Wild are going to need a greasy one here. Wedgwood rising to the task. Center point Spurgeon. Off to Faber. Power play down to 10 seconds. Tarasenko back to Faber. Once more Vladimir Tarasenko. They'll shift it in the corner. Marcus Johansson try to center. Stolen by Taves. Outletting Drury. Chips it ahead. Faber hustling to it. Drury's there first. Left circle a shot at the outside of the net. Maybe the shoulder of Gustafson. Power play is over for Minnesota.
Yeah, Tarasenko went down. He was down there for a few seconds. Finally gets to the bench right now.
Johansson darted back in with a right circle wrister. Stick save Wedgwood. Avalanche come the other way. McKinnon. Watched carefully by Middleton. Those two tie each other up. Puck came free for Nelson. A man open in front. Couldn't gather it cleanly. And Johansson skates ahead. Johansson in on side right wing boards. Flips to the corner. Just over 13 minutes to go in the third. Wild need 2 to tie. Sturm won a battle. Tried to come out in front. It rolled off his tape. And it's rattled down the ice. An icing call coming on the home side with exactly 7 minutes played in the third.
Yeah, and this way they need to make something happen. Obviously, Minnesota putting a lot of pressure on right now. It's been a good third period for the Wild. But they've got to dent the twine, and they haven't done that here in the third period.
Boldy, Kaprizov, Zuccarello for Minnesota as John Hines loading up a bit. Hughes in favor of the defenseman. Boldy will be tasked with the face-off against McKinnon. McKinnon, since 2020, in the postseason, has been a point per game or better in 12 of the 13 series he's participated in. Here he rockets that puck back off the draw. It's grabbed by McCarr, shoved along Faber, kept it in. Boldy up high, fanned on it, got it right back. Boldy outside the right circle, looking for some help. Now to Hughes. Hughes trying to shift away from Nelson. Hughes' shot blocked down in front. That broke the stick of Zuccarello. And McKinnon shot out of a cannon, flies ahead. And the Wild are going to be shorthanded here. Delay call coming. Spin move and a backhanded shot went wide by McKinnon. There's the touch up. It's a trip.
Yeah, another penalty to Minnesota. This is not what they need.
Just not the time for anything behind the play.
36 minutes tripping.
You're down 2. It's not a must-win game, but it's pretty close.
Yes. I would agree.
And after all that pressure by the Wild and a failed power play, Zuccarello got a piece of Lehkonen, not much there, but the call made. Timeout on the ice. Wild to the PK. When we come back, 12.5 to go in the third. Down 3-1 in Denver. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Find out who will punch their ticket to the Champions League final on Sirius XM FC. PSG hold a one-goal edge after a first-leg classic in Paris.
Dembele on the left side of the penalty. He shoots, he scores!
Now, the tie shifts to Munich, where Bayern are unstoppable.
Harry Kane for the effort! Oh, and Kane has scored!
Bayern PSG, tomorrow at 3 Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 157 in the car and the Sirius XM app. Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Fantastic start for PSG. The Bayern machine is on the roll again. Arsenal are running riot in North London.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
There's nothing like playoff hockey, and nobody gets you closer to the ice than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Our experts get you ready for each matchup.
The Edmonton Oilers can outscore any mistakes in this series.
And interviews with the league's heavy hitters.
John Cooper, head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love listening to you guys in the morning.
It's hockey talk all day and the top playoff games every night. Stay connected to the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Fact that Minnesota's going to be showing hard. That's Zicker on the penalty box and the tripping call. Minnesota shorthanded.
Faber, a long offering, bounces in. Wedgwood knocks it aside after the initial face-off win by the Minnesota Wild penalty kill. McCarr, a drop pass for Natchez. Avalanche from right to left on your radio dial in the third. Now McKinnon connects with Landeskog, dealt to the point McCarr. Avs have a power play goal in this hockey game as Natchez carries in left side. Marty Natchez surveys to the point McCarr. Back to Natchez, a one-timer, cranked wide and left the playing surface.
Good passing play, and once again, Natchez is just firing that puck right to the netminder. I was watching over the left shoulder of the goaltender. There's a wide open space there. Gus had to have to move over there. Fortunately for him, it did not hit that target. And Natchez doing a good job of getting the puck to the net.
McCarron and Landeskog on the draw. Landeskog able to free it up. He's got a power play goal in this hockey game as the Avalanche captain. A pass in front for a little tip. Gustafson made the save. Rebound back deep in the Wild zone. Gathered by Landeskog. Sent to the point McCarr with all kinds of room. Swings it to the right side for Kadri. Nazem Kadri, goal line past Landeskog. Gave it right back that way. Kadri cross ice. McKinnon a drive. Gustafson fought it off with Faber nearby. And Brock Faber shovels the loose puck all the way down.
Yeah, Faber there to get that rebound, to get all the way down the ice.
Halfway home on the Zuccarello minor. Under 11.5 minutes left in the third. The Wild down 3-1 in game two, trailing the best of 7-1-0. Joe O'Donnell, Tom Reed with you. McCarr at center point off the attack by the Avs power play. Kadri sends it back that way. McCarr takes a look, goes back to Kadri. Nazem Kadri, a goal line pass. Landeskog pressured and closed on by Middleton. Kadri rescued it. Try to get it towards the face-off dot. The Wild get their sticks in that lane. Nick Foligno left side, chops it ahead. Trenyon's going to try and speed to it. Out with his goal stick comes Wedgwood, and he'll work it free for McCarr. McCarr's pass out of stride for Nichushkin. Power play down to 15 seconds. Faber to play keep away. Stopping in his own right circle and then lifting it down. Caught by Wedgwood, dropped off for Malinsky. Out of the box in 7 seconds is Zuccarello. The Wild, with time becoming a factor now. Brock Nelson carries in, dropped it off for Lehkonen, turned over. Damon Hunt got it away from immediate trouble and smacks it out to center Marcus Foligno. Played it through the neutral zone looking for Sturm. Broken up by the Avs, and Taves clears out the center. Brock Nelson now for Colorado. Checked along the boards, just inside the Wild blue line. Taves holds the line for a moment. Second effort, played it down low. Hughes picks it up, spins. Lehkonen ran into the ditch. Hughes is down on top of the puck. Nelson and Zuccarello collide away from things. And because of Hughes on top of the puck long enough where they halt play, and now, of course, some rough stuff as we near the midway point of the third.
Minnesota a little frustrated right now because they can't get the puck to net there, watching Faber getting right in the middle of things also, which he's not afraid to stick his nose in there. He likes the physical part of the game. No penalties being called on the play. There just a lot of verbal confrontations between these two teams.
I know Hughes spins there, but that's a numbers first check by Lehkonen, drilling him into the end boards. Draw to the left of Gustafsson, forthcoming. Wild have held the Avs in 19 shots with half the third period left. Now, of course, Colorado, because of the lead, they don't really need to push the issue offensively, Tom. They're just trying to lock it down defensively.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. They had 19 shots. Minnesota 27 shots now in this hockey game. They're leading that department. The big lead is with the Avalanche, who have a 2-goal lead here with 10 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third period.
Hartman tasked with taking the face-off against McKinnon. Brown has been juiced up most of the night. Colorado broke the ice, 2:51 in. Wild tied it 6 seconds later. The Avs got a power play goal at 8:24 the first, haven't trailed since. Zuccarello into the Colorado zone. Sliced it down low. Hartman hoping to come up with it. And it's Landeskog skating through center ice for Colorado, shifting it in. Gustafsson out with his goal stick. Flipped it to his right for Brock Faber. Faber chiseled it ahead. Hartman gained the red line, pokes it in. Wedgwood punches it to his right. Malinsky jabs at it. Hughes had it in his equipment for a moment. And now Colorado gets to the center. Quick regroup. Kaprizov back in on side. Right wing boards. 3 Avalanche players staring him down. So we'll find the weak side help Boldy. Boldy deep into the offensive zone. Left wing corner. Spins with the puck. Tried to center. And Kaprizov couldn't get his tape on it. It deflects to the corner where it's jabbed at by Colton. Not cleared. Spurgeon to Boldy. Outside the right circle, Matt Boldy hands the puck to Marcus Johansson, fresh off the bench. His shot lasered wide past the short side post. Boldy gathered the loose change left wing wall. Boldy chiseled it free. Johansson works his way up high. Marcus Johansson, right wing boards, powering down low. Tried to one-handed in front, ran out of room. Played well there by Taves. Urov to the loose change, up high to Hughes. Wild stay in business here with Hughes. Darting down low again, right side. He got decked. McKinnon, forearm to the helmet. Hughes went down, and McKinnon scales it ahead. Back is Johansson, reversing off to Spurgeon. 8:40 to go. 2 to tie for Minnesota. Spurgeon jams on the brakes as the Wild finish a change. Now McCarron for Minnesota at the red line, flops it in. Wedgwood out with his goal stick. Kept it coming. Burns, the middle of the ice. Nice pass to Kelly. And it's sprayed along for Kadri. Watched by Petrie. A pass by Kadri. Hit Jake Middleton. Kicks to the corner. Big bodies, though, after that, a collision along the glass. Avalanche player got knocked down. Penalty call. A drive hit the goalpost as Burns let it fly, and the Wild touch up. They're going to be shorthanded again.
Oh, boy.
And Kadri went down like he was shot
with Tarasenko
with a rifle.
See what the call is going to.
And McCarron's telling him you're not even bleeding. Officials are going to talk about it. I'm not sure what they're going to look at here. Maybe was it Kadri's own stick? Only speculating here because we haven't had the benefit of a replay yet.
Yeah, I was watching the officials. They were looking up at the big board also, looking to see if they could see something happen.
Tarasenko's stick came up high. Kadri again sprawled out, stick flying, gloves to the face.
Well, my goodness.
And no damage done. Timeout on the ice. We'll sort it out when we come back.
91. 2 minutes, high sticking.
8:11 to go in game 2. Wild down 3-1. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by Grand Casino.
Hockey's not just a game. It's a clash of sticks. It's sprays of ice and crazy saves. It's slap shots and the scrape of blades. It's an endless series of touch-and-go moments that make you feel alive. Through the highs and lows, you march your way down the long road to the playoffs alongside your team, with your jersey on and your heart on your sleeve, because they couldn't do it without you. And when you're there for your team, the NHL store is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. A Fanatics experience.
Wake up at 5. Lace up their skates. You want to see them win state. After all, that's all your kid dreams about. And a strain, sprain, or break doesn't have to take that away. Tria Orthopedic Urgent Care is here for them 7 days a week with no appointment needed. And with Save My Spot, you can reserve your place in line and show up closer to check-in time. With Tria by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit tria.com/SaveMySpot to learn more.
Pentair scoreboard update, playoff style.
In the NHL last night, the Golden Knights skated past the Ducks.
Lifted out by Marner with 10 seconds. And will make it toward the empty goal. It rolls across the line. Vegas takes a 3-1 lead. In position to claim victory in Game 1.
Yeah, that ices the victory. Golden Knights lead that best-of-7 series 1-0. Canes also won last night. They beat the Flyers in overtime. They lead that series 2-0. And if you missed it earlier tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs won the NHL Draft Lottery. They'll pick first overall. Back to Joe and Tom.
Well, that will be interesting. Right now, I'm more concerned about what's going to happen in this game. Minnesota down by 2 goals. They have to pull off a penalty. With Tarasenko in the box, and that's on a high sticking call. Face-off, it's going to be deep in the Minnesota zone to the right of Philip Gustafsson.
Landeskog and McCarron on the draw. 4th Stanley Cup playoff appearance from Michael McCarron. A win it, Faber slides to his right and gets a lane to fire it down. Wedgwood able to stop it back of his net. Cale Makar picks it up. He's got Natchez the trailer, the double drop opportunity for McKinnon. It swung that way. It's something Dallas used a lot against the Wild in the first round series with their power play strategy, that double drop. John Hyde's talking about how you have to kind of re-gap both times. Makar now to Natchez left side. Natchez, the goal line feed. McKinnon gives it back to Natchez. Remember, Colorado really struggled in the regular season with the power play. Shockingly, with all this talent. Centering pass, open. Landeskog missed high and wide. That was a good look. Faber trying to dig it free. Battles. It comes loose. Landeskog wheels it around. Too much steam behind it. All the way down it goes.
Yeah, Joe, you wonder how they struggled so much with all the firepower they got. They couldn't get a lot of goals with a man advantage.
They were 27th out of 32 teams, and that was only after they really made a push late in the regular season. Probably in part because they added Kadri at the deadline. And here is Kadri right side, centering, broken up by the Wild, not cleared. Natchez holds in. Power play 50 seconds. Valuable time, though, coming off the clock with the Wild down in game 2, 3-1. Bottom of the right circle, Avs have it on the power play. Middleton pressures. Kadri fed it up high. Makar back to Nazem Kadri. Watched now by Nico Sturm. A goal line pass to the captain, Landeskog. Shoveled back to Kadri. Cross ice. McKinnon a drive. They score. Tipped off a body in front. Game 2 not going the Wild's way with 6:42 left. McKinnon with a blast. It's 4-1.
Yeah, disappointing Minnesota. Once again, McKinnon, of course, he can burn you in so many different ways. And he does it right there with a hard slap shot coming on the left side there. And Gus could not get in front of that one. And as a result, it's now a 3-goal lead for the home team.
And power plays, again, becoming a factor. It was really as the Dallas series moved along for the Wild, where special teams were a glaring issue. Early in this series in Denver, more of the same. Again, when you see a man advantage like that, Tom, you wonder how they struggled so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're moving the puck in Minnesota. I mean, they were positioned pretty good there, but that quick pass with tape to tape, and McKinnon can burn you in a hurry.
91, Nazem Kadri. And number 92, Gabriel Landeskog. Time of the goal, 13 minutes, 18 seconds.
Faber up ice, Kaprizov looking for Hartman right side. Just had to slash it back of the net. Malinsky drills it around the glass, and it gets through center. Hughes hurries back for it. Nichushkin bearing in. Hughes all the way around the net of Gustafsson. Hughes separating from Valerie Nichushkin. Up ice now, Hartman. In on side, a little fluttering shot whistled wide. Hughes will gather, poked it to Petrie. Jeff Petrie smacks it behind the net. Nichushkin to try and poke it along. Zuccarello held in. Around the cage, hoping for Hartman. It was a touch too far, and Lehkonen hurries it ahead out to center, where it's smacked in by Drury. He'll line up Damon Hunt. So Hunt reverses Boldy. Stops at his own right wing hash marks, puts it on the tape of Hunt. Was able to weave it along Urov, trying to free up and get away from Brett Kulak. Urov muscling it to Marcus Johansson. Johansson turns to his forehand. Up for Hunt, hounded by O'Connor. Hunt slashes it back of the net. Grabbing it there, Urov centered. A shot by Johansson. He scores! Marcus Johansson gets it right back for the Wild. They trail 4-2 with 5:27 to go. His third of the playoffs.
Yeah, he's right on the top of that blue paint area also. Positioning there, but Johansson able to do exactly what he was told to do, and that's to put the puck in the net. That's what his teammates are telling him, that he does that. So it brings Minnesota right back into it, but just keeping the puck in the zone, good effort. And Urov is the guy who got the puck in behind the net and put it right on the stick of Johansson who puts it away, and that's a huge, huge point for Minnesota, getting that goal.
Crowd reacting because they thought it hit the pipe, but it definitely went into the back bar and then bounced down again. And now the crowd seeing it for a second time, different angle. A little bit of a groan there as they recognize it did go in. 19th career playoff goal for Johansson, again his third of this postseason. And it is 4-2, but 5:27 to go.
Yeah, 14:33 the time of this one, so plenty of time to make something happen.
Avalanche win the neutralized face-off. Kulak couldn't get it past Tarasenko, tries to chip it ahead.
Marcus Johansson assisted by number 22, Danila Urov, and number 48, Damon Hunt. Time of the goal.
First career Stanley Cup playoff point for Damon Hunt. So congrats to the 23-year-old.
Yeah, he's played a very solid game.
7 regular season points in 45 NHL games. Now his first of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Burns gets the loose puck to center. Wild go D-to-D. Middleton and Spurgeon playing catch. Under 5 minutes left now. We'll see how aggressive John Hines wants to be. Down 4-2 in game 2. And the Wild come from the dead here. Hughes, a left wing pass. It jumped away from Kaprizov. Makar offered it off the glass. Hughes knocked it down with his glove. Zuccarello keeps the line. Fired it off the end wall. Wedgwood trying to tie it up. Makar there for a moment. And he and Kaprizov battle and a penalty call coming. And this is on Minnesota. And it's on Kaprizov with 4:26 to go.
And he is not happy.
The cross check. It was a puck battle. We'll get one more look at it on the monitor.
There's been 4 penalties in this third period. Minnesota's got 3 of them.
It's a cross check. It's a good call. But the embellishment there by Makar. 4:26 to go. Wild back to the BK. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by Grand Casino.
Minnesota is home to wild hockey and wild weather. Snow, hail, ice, your home takes it all. Thankfully, Andersen makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. As the #1 trusted window and door brand, Andersen products are built to handle whatever Minnesota throws at you, season after season. In a world where a lot can go wrong, trust your home to Andersen, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Wild. 2024 Andersen brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersonWindows.com.
Xcel Energy's home energy squad experts love helping you save energy. It makes their day to weather strip a door. Setting up a new smart thermostat is real high-five material. They have dreams about upgrading your light bulbs to LEDs. And installing a more efficient showerhead is actually one of their love languages. Let the experts who love to help you save energy help you save money. Make an appointment at XcelEnergy.com/squad with free installation of eligible energy-saving equipment.
Hey campers, it's Jan from Toyota. This summer, we're headed to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. We're kicking things off by kicking up mud. Jump in, campers. We're going off-roading in a 4Runner. Next, we're heading to the hot springs in a RAV4. And finally, park your Tundras and Tacomas around the campfire because we're roasting marshmallows. Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
I guess a penalty for cross-checking, and Minnesota's taking a number of penalties in this third period, and not a good sign when you're down, as Minnesota is right now, by 2 goals.
Nice save by Gustafson, coming across through his blue paint to stop a backdoor offering. Wild clear down, Avalanche re-attack. Their power play has scored twice in this hockey game. Natchez in on side, dropped it off Landeskog, had a strip free. McCarron racing ahead with Marcus Foligno. McCarron notches it in. Marcus Foligno, the first man to it, right wing corner 3. Avalanche players swarm him. Now McKinnon to the loose puck, cuts to his right, peels back. Minute 15 to go on the Avs power play. Under 4 minutes left in the third. Wild need 2 to tie in game 2. As Nick Foligno with a good stick poked the loose puck to center, the Avs will get a partial change. They're in no hurry.
No, that's exactly right. They're just going to take their time with the puck.
Taves swings it back. Brock Nelson a full head of steam. To Malinsky. Chips it in. Faber and Malinsky come together. It's jarred around the Wild end boards. Arturi Lehkonen offers it back around the end wall. Malinsky pokes to the corner. Back behind the net, I should say. Nichushkin now to Lehkonen. Center point Taves. Filtered along, it is Malinsky. Back in the wheelhouse of Taves. A pass left side. Nichushkin outside the left circle. Watched by Nick Foligno, joined by Spurgeon, as well as Nico Sturm and Brock Faber on the PK. Malinsky at center point. Drives one. Knocked down in front, maybe getting through the right skate of Gustafsson. Minnesota clears around. Nelson kept in nicely. Bouncing puck that he hacked down and kept in the zone. Now Taves firing one in front. Gustafsson read it and made a stop on Lehkonen. I don't want this to sound too harsh, but where was this Philip Gustafsson in the opening period, Tom?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. I think maybe nerves have something to do with it.
2:26 to go in the third. Avs scored on the first 2 shots of the game. Gustafsson has responded now. And making some big saves late.
Yeah, big saves. There are going to be some big decisions. What happens when these two teams go back to St. Paul?
Kaprizov in the box for just 1 more second. Wild win the face-off. Hunt floats it down. Wide pass Blackwood, or Wedgwood, excuse me. And Wedgwood just jumps on top of it. And so the Wild are going to pull Gustafsson here. 2:19 left, down 2. They'll get an extra attacker to make it a 6-on-5. On the face-off, Hartman for Minnesota, Jack Drury for the Avs. So goaltender pulled here for Minnesota.
Wide open net.
Off the draw, Boldy races to it. A shot by Hartman was stopped. On top of it is Scott Wedgwood.
Yeah, good shot by Hartman. Right off the draw, he was at the outside of that circle, took that pass and just fired it.
Wedgwood now has stopped 28 of 30.
Hartman winning that draw.
Avalanche are going to put out their top players here. Landeskog, McKinnon, Nelson, McCarr, and Taves. Basically an all-star team out there.
Yeah, it sure is.
All 5 Olympians this year. Hartman and Nelson on the draw. Nelson guides it back. Taves around his own net. Nathan McKinnon and an empty netter in game 1. Squeezes it to center. They'll say this puck deflected. There's no icing. 2 minutes left now and 200 feet in front of Brock Faber from left to right on your radio dial. The Wild down 4-2 in game 2. Hughes an up-ice pass. Trying to step in on side was Kaprizov. Battling there against McCarr. Kaprizov got in deep. Fired it through the goal mouth wide. Faber rolled it around the end board. Zuccarello pinches in left side. Hacks it back around the boards. Boldy waits for it, right wing hash marks. Chased by Landeskog. Boldy peels it to the point for Faber. Faber gives it right back to Boldy. Boldy, top of the right circle. Up high, Faber. Shoots one, hit the goalpost. To the rebound, Hughes. Served it down low, Zuccarello. 90 seconds left. Wild need 2 to tie. Hughes at the left point. Swipes it along for Faber. Faber hands it off to Boldy. Everything to the outside right now. Boldy pressured in the corner. He got hit hard by McKinnon. He went face first into the dasher. And Boldy is hurt. And Hartman challenging McKinnon. Boldy just getting to his skates now. He is very slow to his skates. He's going to try to get out the center so the Wild can re-attack. And they're barely on side. Kaprizov in with a shot. Shoulder down by Wedgwood. Avalanche clear down. Boldy's going to stay out there. One tough customer icing here on the Avs with 55.8 seconds left in regulation. The Wild need 2 to tie.
Yeah, they need 2, and it can be done. We've seen it before, but at the same time, you can see Goalie, the frustration coming off of him also, taking that shot, and no penalty call on the play, and the embellishment is unbelievable. The amount of in the league, not just here, but in the league all over.
over the left shoulder, the brunt of that collision. And Matt Boldy went hard into the corner boards. It was very close to being a full-on check from behind.
Yeah, both teams right now, their respective benches here is the Avalanche trying to put together a little bit of a game plan with the remaining 55.9 or 8 seconds remaining. Minnesota doing the same thing on their side.
The Avalanche gave up 36 shots in game 1. In their sweep of the Kings, 3 times they allowed 25 shots. In game 3, they gave up just 26 shots. So 101 total in 4 games. The Wild had 36 in game 1. They have 32 here, or 31 here tonight in game 2. So they're getting their chances. It's miracle time, though, now for Minnesota. 55.8 seconds left, still an empty net. Wild use their timeout. Boldy stays out there. He's going to take the draw against McKinnon. Hartman and Zuccarello to his right. Kaprizov left wing board. Hughes in favor up top. Draw on the right of Wedgwood. McKinnon tried to muscle it back. Loose puck. Boldy peeled a shot. It was blocked. Second try blocked as well. They go to the corner. To the left of Wedgwood. Faber pinned up immediately. Zuccarello to Boldy. Up high for Hughes. Hughes slapped one down low. Nice wide on a tip by Kaprizov. Puck cleared out the center ice by Colorado. Hughes back forward, hounded by Nichushkin. He's got to go all the way back in his own zone. Wild running out of time. Just over a half minute left. Quinn Hughes starts ahead. Feeds it right side Hartman. Now with Boldy near the blue line. Hartman fed one that was blocked. Regathers, spiked it to Hughes. Loads and rockets it in around the end boards. 22 seconds to go. Keeping in Hartman. Feathered it rink wide for Hughes. Hughes at the left point. Scooped down low Zuccarello. Left circle. Need a shot here. Zuccarello waiting. Firing one. Looking for a tip. Burns jabbed it wide. 10 seconds left now. Nichushkin right wing corner. Flicks it ahead. This will go all the way down and in. It's going to be a 5-2 final in game 2 as Val Nichushkin ices this one. With 4.4 seconds left, the Avs are going to take a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, you're right. You look at the Avs right now, 2 power play goals in this game, an empty net goal, and they win. The Bears are going to win this hockey game by a score of 5-2. So right now that goal coming with 4.4 seconds remaining in the third period.
Face off at center ice. We'll see if the Wild try to get a little squirrely here. Puck is down. Burns picks it up, and that's going to do it. The Avalanche remain perfect in the playoffs. The Wild wasn't for a lack of effort tonight. A couple early goals against, though, with Gustafsson between the pipes. Proved to be a little bit too much to overcome. Nick Waugh's going to get the game winner, his second of the playoffs of the game-winning variety. And the Avs pick up a 5-2 win to take a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, once again, all season long, Joe, it's been the penalty killing that really has hurt this hockey team, and they just can't find a way to combat it. And gives the Avs credit. They get 2